Alright, turn in the microphone. There we are. There we are, and here we are again. All set up and ready to go. Getting back into the swing of things with the whole working out thing again, too. Probably going to have a pretty uniform schedule, it looks like, for this semester, because there's really only 3 days a week that I can very easily set up a stream. The rest of the days, it's like, yeah, it's iffy because I might have schoolwork to do, or I might have, I might not feel like it because at certain days it's like, okay, well, 2 days a week I have to get up at 6:30, leave for school at 8. Oh, I didn't delete this. And then that was my my test file up there that I didn't delete. I've been playing a couple of the missions ahead just to make sure that I know what I'm doing. But yeah, so there's a couple of days a week where I have to leave for school at 8. I don't get home until 6:45 probably. So, yeah, fat chance of it happening on that day because I wouldn't get to eat anything. I'd be coming home, walking in the door, turning on the stream, and going with low blood sugar, and that would be just an absolute disaster, so we're not doing that. But I'm not sure if I can even stream the days before that either, even though my schedule's a little more open those days, because I have to make sure I get enough sleep to get up early to go do those things, so I'm not, like, dying because I'm too tired the day after, so. Might end up just being 4 days off, 3 days on, honestly, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the days where it would be tough to schedule it, so might just be Friday, Saturday, Sunday every week for the next 15 weeks after this week. And knowing that, I kind of said, okay, well, this week I want to make sure I schedule it on days where I know there's a distinct possibility I won't be streaming those days going forward. So that's why I decided I'm going to do it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday this week, give myself a little time, and then we'll do it Sunday next week, and then it might be the whole week we'll go, and then 3 days straight, and then the whole week. So we'll see how that works out. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, but, it's just one of those things that you just got to micromanage a little bit because of the way, I got a lot of funky scheduled classes next semester, because I have to get all these are prerequisites that I have to get done in order to get them out of the way. The semester after, technically the semester after that is a summer semester where I have a class to take as well, but that one shouldn't be a problem because that's during the day. And then the following semester, I think it's pretty much just Wednesdays that are hell days, but I don't normally stream Wednesday anyway because that's the day that we go out to eat. Usually my family. We go and get food from someplace instead of making it ourselves. So I don't know. Probably be a relatively uniform schedule for the next several weeks. Might switch it up when I have a break. But other than that, probably be pretty similar schedule-wise. Games-wise, it'll be, the last two PS3 projects I've got after we're done with this one. But I don't think we'll quite finish this one until probably the second week of school. 11, 12, 13, 14 this week. 15, 16, 17 next week. Yeah, probably the second week of school, which next week is the first week, and then the following week is the second week. So we'll probably finish this in that first week of February, basically. Or, actually, because I think first week of February starts in the middle of next week. So the first full week of February. There we go. Before Valentine's Day, probably. Anyway, the prelude scroll here is going to be exactly the same because we haven't moved on with any major story beats, so I can talk about the fact that I couldn't figure out why the Valis Media's music, it's good music, don't get me wrong, but I was like, no, it's something more than it just being good music. Something about it just reminds me of something. And there's some proactive interference in there, because if you may have just heard, there's that little piano ditty where it goes boo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and that's Tetris Effect. Because there's that one level in Tetris Effect, I think it was the city level, where whenever you move the pieces, they would play the piano, and it would play up as you're moving the pieces to the right, and it would play down as you're moving the pieces to the left. Oh, man. I didn't think I would be talking about Tetris Effect again 4.5 years after we played it, but came back with a vengeance when I really listened to the music in here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's testament like to the soundtrack in this one as well that it could bring up such good memories. Either way, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to holy shit, lightning! What was that jump? Final Fantasy XIII, the stream edition. Last time. We did all of the Yaschas Massif, whatever you want to call it, and we are now currently working on mission number 8, the 11th hour, and actually we split this at a good place because we had to walk all the way to the mission stone, which is here, and the mission mark itself is all the way back, halfway across, even more than halfway across the media, so split it at a good spot because that means that now it won't feel like as much backtracking, even though it is, in fact, backtracking. So we're doing more missions today. We're going to go back out in the Archeelt Steppe, finally. We haven't had a chance to do that just yet. We've been stuck in the valleys here and in the craters, not in the basins, not really being able to mess around on the open stage yet, but we'll have a chance to today. So, and we'll see how many missions we get done in that time period. Might actually get a chance to use Ruinga today for the first time, depending on which missions we go do, I think, because there's another type of monster that's out on the steppe that takes more damage from, like, they half physical damage, but they take normal damage from magic, and so Blitz won't work as well on them, but Ruinga will. And I have a special trick to the way that I do Ruinga in this one. I find it's more effective to just stock one Ruinga. And you can't, I don't think you can stock more than one at the moment because we only have 5 ATB bars, but I just stock one Ruinga and then just let it fly. And since Lightning's got the Axis Blade, it kind of blows them up, and then like you can use another one very quickly depending on how many enemies you just hit with that Ruinga. So, we'll see if it works out. Might get to do a little treasure hunting today. Probably of the more traditional variety today, rather than the less traditional variety that you get to do later in this game. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it, because we'll see soon. If not today, then first thing probably on tomorrow's stream. So, and I also think that we'll reach the CP threshold where I don't want to level up anymore as long as I'm on the steppe today. Because if you level up too much, you might end up being a little too strong to get the Behemoth Kings to their threshold point where they stagger before they stand up. And I would rather not do that, so I think we'll just, you know, we'll just stockpile our CP for a little while if we get to that threshold. And then we'll go from there. I don't think I want to switch again. I think I'd rather just, because they'll have him dead in like 3 seconds. So.
As if there was any doubt.
Excuse me. And I did write it in my notes that I have to repeat mission 1 when we go out onto the steps, so we'll probably do that first as soon as we go out there. And we'll be going out there as soon as we're done with this mission. We'll just walk our way back. So then it really will be backtracking, but that's okay. And we'll go out onto the steppe, and if anybody is in chat at that particular moment, I will ask a question about how people would like to watch me handle Mission 9, because Mission 9 is one of those missions where if you don't go in with a game plan, it's pretty easy to mess up a little bit. And, you know what, Fang's going to have him in the air, so it's fine. Maybe it's not because he hit the ground, but he's going to stagger from all the fire anyway, so whatever, and then he'll be launched. Yeah, Mission 9's one of those missions that you have to go into with a bit of a game plan, or else you might end up with some problems. We'll talk about what the problems are when we get there. It might require us to use our final Decepticol. No, I don't think it will, actually. I was going to say, we might need to use our final Decepticol on it, because I think we only have one, right? Yeah. So, but I don't think we will. I think there's, like, basically, the fast way to do it is to get a preemptive strike. I mean, obviously, like most marks that you fight in the game for the Seath Stone missions, it's like, okay, get a preemptive strike and then you're done, but I don't even know why I'm doing this. I should just be using fire. Yeah, because they have normal from arrow, so like, why even bother? Yeah, I guess that's why, but, you know. I guess I have, like, Flames... Oh, I don't have Flame Strike yet, so... I was gonna say, since I have Flame Strike now, I might as well get it, but we haven't quite bought that yet, so... We have Bravery to fall back on, so we could, but we don't have it yet, so I won't use it. We'll use it when we get it. But the fact that I've got Bravery and yet I'm continuing to cast magic a lot with Lightning anyway should clue you into the fact that we probably won't be having Auto Bravery forever with her. I think I'm going to switch it over to Auto Faith, but I'm going to wait until the game gives me a Saint's Amulet or a Blessed Talisman upgrade, because we will get one. So, since that's the case, I might as well just wait for the game to hand it to me on a silver platter so I don't have to buy it, and then we'll go from there. Can pretty freely just kind of spam the fire spell against these guys, so nothing really to it. Oh, so that's why I was thinking, oh, maybe I should use arrow. It's because Hope randomly throws an arrow in there occasionally for additional chaining. Got it. That makes a little bit more sense. I was like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? What's the advantage here? Are they weak to it? No, they're not. Controller's left analog stick keeps getting stuck in the up position. That's no good. How am I supposed to make sure you're going in the correct direction here?
Target's a target.
I mean, I guess it goes back pretty easily anyway, so. No, I don't think I'm going to switch. It's just one flan, we can handle it. Especially if Hope contributes a single fire spell, that makes a big difference there. Actually does, because that raised his stagger gauge enough for me to be able to have enough multipliers to kick his ass. So, alright, here's the mark, right? Yep. Now, the mark may appear to be Flans, but it's Rakshasa. It's the dancing bird thing over there. So it's your standard, as usual, type of dancing support bird in the background. It'll use status effects to try to debuff you, while attempting to have the Flans do other things to you. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm actually going to control Fang for this one. And we're just going to get rid of the Flans pretty quickly, and then we'll isolate the Rakshasa. And once we have the Rakshasa isolated, I think I'm going to try to get... I think it's vulnerable to Slow and Curse, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to try to get both on it. If I remember correctly, Slow and Curse help a little bit in terms of, like, it'll try to buff itself when it's by itself, if I remember correctly. But if we get Slow and Curse up, it won't matter if it buffs itself, because it'll try to use haste and it just won't work. Alright, so we'll just do a little bit of this. Get rid of all the lilies, and then once we've got them dead, just move along. There goes that one. Probably try to get, like, Deep Protect on us or something. Or, you know, Fog, I guess. That's fine. It's gonna go away in a second anyway, so what do we care? It's not like I'm using magical attacks on Fang anyway. Deep Protect, big deal. Actually, Fog might be a big deal in a second, so... Okay, it's going away. No, never mind. I was gonna say, it might be a big deal in a second when I need her to Saboteur, but I don't need her to Saboteur currently, so let's just Power Chain and then go to Smart Bomb so I can get Slow off. Because I think she'll try to buff herself in just a second, so we'll get that. We'll get Curse. I don't think Fog works. Well, it says susceptible to Slow, so I don't know, but it doesn't particularly matter, I don't think. Alright, got that off. Build the gauge, and off we'll go. She'll probably try to smash us in a second, but that's okay. We should be fine. Switch in the air so we don't have to... Actually, I think we already did the little animation for that, so... Keep her locked up here. I guess the curse doesn't matter if I keep her locked up here, huh? And that should be GG. Yep. Nothing to it. She didn't even get to buff herself. She can buff herself with, like, Protect and Shell and Haste, if I remember correctly, like Gilgamesh in Final Fantasy V, but that sure didn't happen, now did it? And this is where we get our first of 3 free collector's catalogs. Cool. So what that one does is that will increase the rate of common item drops for enemies. So if you're looking for their common item drop, more of them, then go right ahead, use that. I'm actually going to keep that, and I'm going to star it, because there will be a couple of situations later on in the game where I will want to get more frequent common drops than rare ones. Oh, I forgot to move the Whistlewind Scarf back. I hope I don't forget to do that soon, because I'm going to have Saz, Snow, and Vanille fight a boss later on in today's stream, and if they don't have the General's belts, they might take a little bit more damage than I would like them to. Well, hopefully I'll remember. If I don't, it's fine, I guess. Alright, so we'll leave the media finally. We can finally come out of the cracks in the valley walls and actually go out on the steppe. I mean, we could have before this as well, instead of going to the, into the media and the Massif, but since we were looking for a little bit of extra experience anyway, we might as well familiarize ourselves with the enemies in isolation that we'll be fighting. I mean, there's more Gorgonopsids and different dragons that we'll fight out on the steppe than what we found here, but same idea. So. It's good CP, right? Like, I mean, there's better CP to be had on the steppe, but some of the battles are more dangerous to compensate for it, so. Hell, if the Gorgonopsids decide to face roll a single party member and that party member happens to be the party leader, when you go back out there, you could still run the risk of dying. So, I'm gonna wait for both of them to be done before I start casting. Okay, they weren't quite done, but should give Hope some time. Basically just so that they don't walk over and just instantly give their stagger bar to this person. I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter, right? Because then we just kill this one faster, but oh well. Excuse me. Yeah, nothing to some of these fights. I mean, at this point, if these ones are giving you trouble, you probably will have a tough time on the steppe, because a lot of these are isolated scenarios of things you'll fight on the steppe. Like, eventually there's a battle on the steppe with 2 dire flans, and it's not particularly challenging, but it is a little annoying, because they like to stagger you out of your attacks by using their giant floppy hands like that. I mean, I guess it's not a huge problem because you can just kind of take one of them on at a time, but it can be problematic sometimes when there's 2 of them because they'll, like, just kind of slap you out of your spells and then you can't juggle them, which is just no good.
And I was just getting started.
Well, unfortunately, Fang, we're not going to find a real challenge out here, so not anymore, anyway. Try to find a real challenge out on the steppe where things are actually able to kill you. But before you ask, no, we're not fighting any adamantulids now, Fang. That's not a good idea. Don't even think that. We are not ready for that yet. Get rid of more slugs. Yeah, I didn't quite take that one. That's okay. Might go Relentless Assault just to start everybody's gauges back instantly so they can annihilate them before I even get the chance to move. That's cool. I'd rather. It saves me from some button presses. I think we're almost back now, right? Yeah, like 2-3 more encounters and then we should be back. Getting to so many of these encounters over and over again from doing these missions this way that it's kind of like, okay, well, you know. How many more of these we got? So, I mean, I guess it gets a little repetitive at certain points, but... I don't know, like, it almost... A lot of this part of the game feels a little bit more like a puzzle to me. Like, because you're trying to figure out, okay, what can I kill, what can't I? Am I going to be able to get strong enough to kill the bigger things later? Should I get strong enough to kill the big things, or should I just move on with the plot? So each player ends up with a different solution. Do they grind? Do they just do missions? Do they just skip all that and go straight for the story stuff? What do they do? And that agency is good because it allows this game to be a little bit, I think, a little bit more interesting than just the on-rails stuff. Like, the on-rails stuff, I mean, obviously that was done for story purposes, but I think that the battle system really starts to shine here because this is where you have access to all of the roles for everybody. The whole party's available. You're not on rails, so you can pick where you go. And you get access to some interesting abilities that you wouldn't otherwise have. It's where you start getting your tier 3 spells and all that stuff. So like, where I think the story took front and center focus for the first 10 chapters mostly. Chapter 11 is really where I think the gameplay takes over. And it's a shame, honestly, that it takes this long for the gameplay to become the front and center focus, in my opinion, but, I mean, you know, I guess it happens. It's their decision in that particular case. I just think that it was good when they decided to make a sequel, that they said, no, you know, I don't even need to go to that one. There's a save point right out on the step, so let's just get out of here and go to the step instead. But it was a good decision on their part in 13.2, because they decided to make a sequel, to be like, yeah, no, we should probably make the gameplay get here a little faster in this one, so the players don't feel like they're just stuck doing the same stuff they did in 13.1. So, well, that Seath Stone isn't active, so probably isn't active until much later in the game. Usually if you do all the missions in this order and you see one that isn't active, it means it won't be active until, like, after mission 34. So, at least that's my experience, anyway. But we can finally make our way back out here. So I can repeat mission 1. Because I got a crappy ranking on it the first time. That's okay. That's what I get for trying to get a Brunhilde kill on an enemy that's not weak to fire. Yeah, I don't know, some of the missions, it feels like it's tough to get a 5-star ranking without leveling up quite a bit to just annihilate them, but you can't level up too much because then you end up, you know, reducing your target time so much that it becomes a problem. This mission over here, this yellow one that's blinking, is mission 9, but that one's mission 1, I believe, right there, so. And we still have a whole bunch of the steppe left to explore, but we'll worry about exploring that in a little while. Oh yeah, I got the collector's catalog. I can probably upgrade that with all the extra goodies we've got. If you don't have a whole lot of synthetic materials to use to get the big experience points, don't worry too much about it just yet, because a lot of the organic stuff is available here, but a lot of the synthetic stuff will be available in the next area after this. So, there you go. That'll be where you get it. Excuse me. Alright, 1,050 to max this out. What is this? Okay. I guess we can do that. Gotta get it up a little bit more, though, because we gotta... I can't use any of these superconductors. We're gonna need all of these and then several more in a little while. We can't buy them just yet, but once we move on with the story, we'll be able to buy them. So I want to conserve all of these if possible. So let's just build the experience bar for a little bit here first before we do anything else. That will definitely bring it within range of Bombshell because it's 360, so it'll be like 400 something. What does this give? Oh, gross amounts. It gives a lot. You know, I'm going to use this stuff, actually. Some of these lower end ones that don't sell for as much. I forget, is this the other one? Yeah, this is the other one here. Torn leather, sure, why not? Molted tail. Probably not going to get there with just these, but, you know. There we go. There's the ×3 multiplier. That should be enough for a bombshell to finish it off. Yes, it is. Good. And that takes care of that. So now we've got a starred collector's catalog. Like I said, I'll use this as a an accessory at a certain point. Just to, I think I'll mostly use it for. There's only really 2 battles that I think I'll need it for. So, because those two battles have some pretty solid common drops, and the common drops I think are pretty, well, common. I think they're a 25% drop rate, so you use the collector's catalog, and I think it increases it on a 5-star ranking to, like, I don't know if it doubles it, so it'd be 50% chance, but if it is, that's pretty good. Way more than I would expect it to give, you know. Alright, let's just sell some stuff. Do I have to buy any potions? Yeah, I'll buy one. Why not? And then sell the glass orb. We won't need that. Don't have anything else to sell here, though. The collector's catalog is worth a cool 50,000 gil if you don't need it, and again, we're going to get 2 more after this, but I figure we don't really need the gil at the moment. So I'm just going to keep this one, and then we can sell the other ones that we get because we've starred this one, so that way I know which one I can keep and which one I can sell, you know? So that way it's a little easier. I'm going to keep this and this, I think are the most important things to keep at the moment, because I'm going to use them for accessory upgrading later. The Rhodochrosite and the Millerite I can just get rid of, though. So I'll just get rid of those. And I think before we save... let's do some Crystarium work, shall we? Now, do I have everybody's ATB level yet? I don't think I have Snow's, if I remember correctly. I think I have... I know I have yours. I'm just going to check everybody and see if I have their ATB levels. Pretty sure the entire main party right now has their ATB levels, so... you do. You definitely do. Vanille, I think, got hers immediately, so she... But she only has 4. So, gotta account for that. ATB level. And then Snow. Lagging behind, but that's okay. I think he's almost... Yeah, he was right on top of it anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. So let's just grab that real quick for him. Now, Snow is, I think, going to be our timer, because I think I was going to do Ravager for him initially, maybe, just to get him some tier 2 spells, but he's going to be kind of our timer for, okay, let's stop leveling for the rest of this, because what I want to do is I actually want to take him into Commando. I want to get him Blitz, and then I want to get him Blindside, Power Chain, basically everything leading up to Ravage and Jeopardize, because I might use him in the party instead, like in the main party of fighters instead of Fang, so I'd use Lightning, Snow, Hope, depending on... I haven't exactly like finalized which secondary roles I want to use just yet. I'm pretty sure for Snow I want to do Saboteur, but I'm not 100% sure about that just yet. So I'm gonna figure that out as we go. And basically, once he gets those, we're gonna stop leveling, and then that should be it for the entirety of the step. We'll just bank any CP that we get, and then once we're done, we'll cash in all that CP on our secondary roles to try to get all the secondary roles done before we move on with the story, like completely done, as much as I want to do for the entirety of the game, I think. So that, I think, is the plan. I don't know if it's how it's going to work out, but we're going to see if that's how it's going to work out. So you got your ATB level already. I think I'm going to raise Ravager for you, because you don't really have anything good going for you in Medic. You do have Cura, but I think I did the math, and it's like all the way over here. Way out of the way. So I said, no, I don't think we'll even get to that, so it's not really worth investing in Medic for now, so we'll just get that later. And I think for now, yeah, I'm pretty sure we were investing in this because we got Fyra and Blizzara previously, so let's just invest in Ravager for her. We can work on getting Flame Strike and Frost Strike while we're here, but I think I want to go grab that crystal because I think that's Vigor, yeah. So we'll grab this first, and especially this will be useful because we're using Lightning primarily as a Ravager for right now, at least to start with in most of the fights, so that's it's pretty good for her, so that way it gives her a little bit of a boost. It gives her 20% extra Strength and Magic. Or no, it gives her 20% extra chain bonus effect. I think the one I'm thinking of is Adrenaline in Commando. But it gives her extra chain bonus effect if her HP is kept high, and usually we keep our HP pretty high here, so there we go. Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Snow is a sab. Wow, didn't see that coming. Yeah, see, the thing about Snow as a Saboteur is that he's a perfect complement to Lightning as a Saboteur because he gets everything that Lightning doesn't get, except for Dispel. Neither one of them gets Dispel, but Hope as a Saboteur gets Dispel. And one of the farming techniques that I'm going to demonstrate, not use, but demonstrate, in the near the very end of the game, uses Hope as a Saboteur with D. Shelga. So, I was thinking, maybe I'll just stick them in Saboteur. Honestly, though, like I think I mentioned it previously, I was like, I'm probably going to try to look at secondary roles for everybody, and spoiler alert, a lot of them are going to be Saboteur. I just really like Saboteur as a role. I think it's really useful. So I usually just go with that. It's like, I don't really know what to do with this. Okay, Saboteur. So, speaking of Saboteur, we'll level up some of Fang's stuff. Is this a 4? Yes, it is. So you can grab this. Cool. Should get up here. So she got Pain just there. I believe, like I said, Svarog in the Massif is vulnerable to Pain. The dragon enemies that are the palette swap of Svarog here on the steppe are not vulnerable to Pain, though. So you'll actually need to use the same strategies that I used previously, where you just use a Sentinel and you tank this feeding stoop, and then you go from there. She will get dazed pretty soon, though. And what this does is it's a one-time stun. So, like, if you hit the daze, it'll stun the enemy for 60 seconds, or until they're hit again. When they get hit again, for the next 0.5 seconds after they get hit, they take 50% extra damage. It's not just the single hit that knocks them out of daze, it's every hit that hits them for the next 0.5 seconds. And you can see how this could be abused with a certain someone with dual pistols and blitz that hits 8 times in 0.5 seconds. It's one piece to the puzzle, let's say. We'll look at the puzzle much later in the game. We don't have all the tools we need yet, but we'll get them. Deshelga, you bought this. You ought to start farming tons of things at once. I mean, you can. There's a fight that you can get a pretty easy preemptive strike on in Chapter 13, near the beginning, where basically you use Deshelga in order to increase your damage by... It increases your damage, like, by 90% or something ridiculous like that, and then you just spam Ruin Gun, it kills them all pretty quickly, and they give pretty substantial amounts of CP, and they have a chance of dropping an item that sells for like 12,000 gil, so it's a pretty great farm spot. You can't use it if you beat the first boss of Chapter 13, though, anymore, so you have to do it right at the beginning of Chapter 13, but I don't know if I'm actually going to use it for that, or if I'm just going to demonstrate it and say, hey, here you go, if you need it, here it is, so. Did I get everything for you before? Yes, I did, okay. Alright, so Hope, we're gonna level you as a Ravager, bad boy. Now, here's the thing. Thundaga's right here. We don't have enough CP to get it. I'm not sure if I want to get it just yet. And here's the reason. The Tier 3 spells for Ravager, Hope gets all 5. He gets Thundaga, he gets Waterga, he gets Blizzaga, Fyraga, Aeroga. They have a tendency to knock enemies up in the air when you hit them with them. And sometimes that can be counterproductive when you're trying to blitz, because when they get knocked up in the air, they don't get hit by blitz. So I might not buy this until we move on. I'm going to have to figure that one out soon, because his next thing to buy, if I go up that path, is Thundaga. But we'll like stay right on the cusp of it, so we can just buy it as soon as we leave. You know, so. For Saz, I think I'm just going to keep working on this. We'll get Adrenaline for him. Give him the plus 20% strength and magic when his HP's high. Work our way back here, get him all this stuff, and then I think he should get his role level as this commando before we're done with buying stuff. Yeah, because we're buying all the stuff previously now, so now he can just go straight over here. And he can start working on that from here, get the rest of this. So Snow's already done, because he's going to be our timer before we stop leveling anybody up. And then we'll go from there. And Vanille, I think I said I was working on her as a Ravager as well. Yeah, because we got Fyraga for her. She actually got the first Tier 3 spell out of anybody in the party. That's kind of... Well, I guess we got Ruin Gun, but, you know. Is this an 8 or a 6? It is an 8. Okay, and we're just outside of the level there, so that's unfortunate, but we'll make do with it. Okay, so that takes care of that. I think we'll just wait to use the rest of our CP until... we get to the point, I think I need like another 75,000 or so CP in order to get all of the stuff for Snow. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look right now before we go so that I know when to stop and level up again, and then we can stop leveling up completely until we're done with the step. So let's just see. 6, 10, 14, 6 is 20, 26, 32, 36, 42, 48, 54, 62, 70, 78. I need 78,000 in order to get all the stuff I want for Snow and Commando for right now. So once we get to 78,000, that's when we'll stop. And we'll level up again, and then we'll go from there. By the way, that fight there is with a Behemoth King fighting against 3 Gorgonopsids. That's one I would never pick a fight with, at least not until much later in the game when you can very reliably get a preemptive strike and then just kill the Behemoth King first because... well, I guess if you get a preemptive strike, you can just stagger him and then launch him into the air and then kill the Gorgonopsids. But if you don't do it correctly, he'll stand up and then kill the Gorgonopsids, and then he'll kill you, so maybe don't do that. It's also worth mentioning you probably shouldn't fight any of the tortoises around here because they will just step on you, and that's not a good thing. So, did you miss Vanille's Eidolon scene and all that noise that happens? No, not yet. We haven't gone that way yet. And we probably won't today because we're not going to go that way until I complete mission 16? 17. Mission 17. I'm reattempting mission 1 before we do mission 9 now, so we'll probably get to like mission 14 at the most today, and then we'll move on after we finish mission 17 next time. There's just a lot of walking to do, but again, we've got the pedometer to think about, so that's why I'm not really mindful of the walking. Like, it doesn't bother me at all if we have to walk around a whole bunch, because we're working on our pedometer. We're working on our timer so that way we get some cool stuff. The pedometer, as it turns out, is a pachinko machine because if you use it enough, you get some good rewards. It's like those programs, those apps that you can install on your phone that track your steps, except whenever you reach a step goal, they send you an actual prize. So, all right, so I'm going to try to get a preemptive strike on the Jella guy here. Ecto Pudding was his name, right? Yeah. I keep wanting to call him Jella Titan. That's a different flan later on in the game. And once we get that preemptive strike, it's basically just Relentless Assault, spam Thunder, and he's done. Oop, okay, that's not a preemptive strike. So we'll just walk out here, let him turn back around. Give him a wide berth, I guess, and just go to his back. And that's it. He could probably hear me, so that's why, like, you gotta kind of give him a bit of a wide berth, like this. I was gonna say, is he turning with me? Might be. Okay, we got in his blind spot, so that's the important part. Get the preemptive, stagger him up, zap the sin out of him, and goodbye. See? Easy. Sometimes it is just a lot simpler to get a preemptive strike in order to get 5 stars on these missions, so don't underestimate it. If you have a bunch of Decepticol to spare, it might just be easier to do that. And for repeating this mission, here's what you get. You get a secondary reward for completing missions over and over again. It's always the same reward, by the way. No matter what rating you get on it, you could get a 0-star rating and you'll still get the secondary reward. This is useful for a certain mission later that you can use for some gil farming and CP farming that's pretty guaranteed for most of the game, so I'll talk about it. If there's an enemy taller than Snow, don't fight it. That's your rule of thumb. I mean, that's a pretty good rule of thumb. That'll keep you alive pretty good on the steps, so. You gotta walk in, like you said, I think you said it last time, you gotta walk in with a game plan if you're gonna fight something taller than Snow, so. I don't think we'll hear them from here. I just like watching them bah. It's so precious. Alright, mission 9 is over there, so let's just head that way. Fight some Gorgonopsids on the way. They'll probably respawn because the mission 9 mark is right on the lake bed here. So, like right on the edge of the lake, I guess I should say. So, we'll be back. And you know, pretty soon that virulent breath is going to have a lot less likelihood of getting anybody poisoned because, again, probably not today, but tomorrow when we have access to a better method of treasure hunting, if you know what I mean, we'll be looking around for some tetratic stuff. So that's cool. I've got the treasure map ready and everything. Guess it's not much of a treasure hunt if you've already got a map to all the treasure, though, huh? Maybe I won't open the map and just make it more interesting. But then again, that depends on whether or not I want to waste people's time. I suppose I'm walking everywhere already, though, so I'm kind of already wasting everybody's time. Okay, mission 9, heave ho. It's off to work we go. That's not the phrase. Even with the power of a Lassie, a Kaiser Behemoth? Really? So I have the choice of being gored to death beside that pond or wandering the wilds as an eternally damned Seath? Lovely. All those years of hard work and careful planning for this. I should have lived more for the moment. So it's a Kaiser Behemoth, and we've been fighting Behemoths, so you'd think, oh yeah, well you can just do the same thing you did with Behemoth King. And while that is partially true, the problem with the Kaiser Behemoth is he has a lot less HP than the Behemoth King, which makes it significantly harder to stagger him appropriately before he stands up. Now, I tried every foreseeable combination that I could find in order to use an Eidolon to get him there, because if I remember correctly, if you use Gestalt mode, he can't transform during Gestalt mode. I think he's stuck in his base form. I could never get it to work properly, unfortunately. So, now that's not to say I didn't come up with a solution. There are two solutions to this puzzle.
That's how it's done.
Now the question is, do we want to do it the easy way, or do we want to use the patented triple S, silly Saz strat? Because I have the cheap easy way, or I have the silly Saz strat. So Marie, you're the only one vocal in chat right now. You pick. You want the easy way or the silly Saz strat for this guy? Wonder, how strong were the people of Pulse since they can't all turn into Lassie to make hunting easier or more bearable? Yeah, it's a good question. I feel like a lot of them were pretty strong, though, because, I mean, they turned into Lassie and they could hunt stuff like this, but doesn't mean they were that strong before they were Lassie, you know? They all had to level up and stuff, too, I guess. Alright, let me fight the Gorgonopsids first, since they're just a nuisance and they're in the way. And then we'll make a decision on whether we want, like I said, we got to figure out if we want the easy way or the silly Saz strat. And I don't know if you heard me, Marie, there. I'm leaving the decision up to you. If I don't hear from you in another minute or two, I'll pick one. I might just do the silly Saz strat to start with if I don't hear from you, because if we get a bad ranking on that, we can just repeat the mission and use it the easy way, because the easy way is just get a preemptive strike and launch him into the air and keep him there for 200,000 HP. Because he has 196,000, I think, HP. So he's not particularly strong, but it does mean he stands up a whole lot quicker. We can't use the strat that I used on the Behemoth Kings, unfortunately, to fix this guy's wagon, because he just has too much HP. So, let me take a drink while I wait. And then we'll go... Alright. I think I've made an executive decision, because I looked it up before I did this stream. I said, okay, you know, if you don't just get a preemptive strike on this guy, what do you do? What do people normally do? In every video I could find, people were using a preemptive strike to fight him, rather than actually, like, you know, trying to figure out how to do it a different way. So I said, okay, so how do I want to do this so that I can get him... appropriately, like you can kill him with this method without staggering him if we do it correctly. I don't think he's particularly vulnerable to Saboteur, so I don't know if Vanille is the best situation to use here, but I think it should be okay. We do want Rav Sen Rav, and I think I'm going to stick that up here, and we're going to do a Calm Sen Rav here, although I don't think we're going to use that too much. So we're going to start in Protection. And then I need a Relentless Assault. And I might stick that here. And then this is going to be Aggression. And I think that's it. Now again, if you want to avoid all the hoopla here, you could just do a you could just do a preemptive strike and then you're done, you know, but if you don't want to do a preemptive strike, I'll show you the silly thing that you can do in order to make this more interesting. Alright, so give the General's belts back to everybody so that way we're good there. We've got the Vegas and the Wild Bear on Saz and Snow now, respectively, so they're a little bit less powerful. Not much, honestly, because Umbra wasn't that strong and the Procyons weren't that strong, so, you know. Oh, they bod for me. Alright, so... are we ready for silly Saz strats? I don't know if I'm ready. I might mess this up and have to do it over again. Here we go. Let's see. Probably the Gorgonopsids, yeah, have respawned, but that's okay. Should be able to get this guy without too much fuss. Okay, so he's not preemptive struck. He sees me already, so he won't get a preemptive strike. So here we go. So, Kaiser Behemoth, here's what we're going to do. Wait for that first. Then we're going to get Bravery and Haste on Saz. We're not going to get Faith on Vanille or Snow. We're going to get Haste and Vigilance on both of them, though. Ow. Okay, I guess I'll give Vanille Haste in a second. There we go. No, just do that. There we go. Give Vigilance to Saz, and then we can actually move on with the plot here. Where's Vigilance? There it is. Alright, so now, wait for that. We're going to go Relentless Assault to start with, just to build the gauge a little bit. I gotta make sure we don't lose that, though. There we go. Alright, so we built the gauge a little bit. Now, here's the problem. As you can see up there in the top left corner, the Kaiser Behemoth only has 196,560 HP. If you bring that below 50%, he will... Actually, I think he's closer to 60% now that I think about it. But he'll transform, basically, a lot quicker. So how do you avoid doing that? Well, I didn't give Vanille Faith. That's important. It means she'll deal less damage than Saz will deal with Bravery, because this guy takes normal damage from physical and magical attacks. But you'll notice over there in the right side of the screen in his vulnerabilities that he absorbs electricity. Saz has Spark Strike, which I can use to heal him while Vanille damages him. And what this will do is it will very slowly build the gauge while keeping his HP above 50% so that he doesn't stand up and murder all of us. Trust me when I tell you, this is the stupidest strategy I will come up with for this entire video game. I don't know why I thought of this, but it might work. We're gonna see. I'll switch to Delta Attack, I think one time here, but our gauge is looking pretty good for the moment. And we should be able to very, very slowly build him up here, and then we'll just do the same thing we did with the Behemoth King once he's staggered. We'll just go Aggression, launch him into the air, and Bob's your uncle. So, but again, you want to make sure you're dealing more damage than Vanille is dealing with her attacks. Now, Saz will continuously get farther and farther away as we go here, which is good and bad. It means his bullets, because they have travel time, will sometimes not land until later, but, you know, it's probably okay. Do I Delta Attack here? I think I'm going to Delta Attack here just to stabilize the gauge a smidgen, like just one round of it, because if we go too much, then we will accidentally knock him down too far, and we don't want that, so... Alright, and now we just continue with this. We should be able to get him staggered just about when we run out of buffs, I think. Now, Saz has boons, so that means that he should be, every time he gave himself a buff, it should maximize the old buffs as well. But, still. It's, I think we've hit the outer limit of the battlefield with Saz now. I don't think he can go... Yeah, he's hitting a wall, actually. Okay, well, our buffs are going away, but that's okay. We've still got Bravery for a little while, so that should make it a little easier for us to keep up with the DPS, because Vanille still doesn't have Faith, so... Just gotta have a little faith, girl! Oh, wait, it's counterproductive to our strategy this time. Never mind, don't have Faith. I think I'm gonna go Delta Attack in a second, actually. Now, it does only build the gauge very slowly, using things that he absorbs, but I think it's more effective than trying to do it any other particular way, personally. So, okay, Mystic Tower again, finish this up, and then we'll go to Aggression. And we should stagger him before he hits 50% HP, and then we can knock him up in the air and go from there. I could start Flame Striking instead, but I don't dare do that because we'll accidentally send him above the threshold, and then I will be very upset. Well, not very upset, but I'll be upset enough. So, alright. One more little thing of this. We're almost there, and then we'll go straight to Aggression. Just stabilize it, Saz. Okay, go to Aggression. Start shooting, so now Snow will launch him in the air, wait for Snow to be done, start attacking to keep him there. The nice thing with Saz's physical attacks is they take a while to go off, so that means that you can keep him in the air a little bit longer than everybody else could, just by doing what you do, so... Saz? Okay, well, this is a problem. Snow, launch him quickly, please, thank you. Okay, there we go. Now, did that 5-star? No, it didn't, okay, well... We tried. We used the silly Saz strat, and you can 5-star it with that, but you have to be, like, I think in certain situations you have to switch to Relentless Assault in order to build the gauge faster. You have to like really ride the line at that 50% or else he'll... Like, you don't want to transform, obviously, but you have to really ride the line by trying to stagger him that way. So, I feel like you were the one person dumb enough to just let him stand up because you like the animation after a while. I mean, it's XIII levels of dumb, but it works. It works without you having to get a preemptive strike on him, which is obviously what I like, because it means I've shown you something that the rest of the internet seems not inclined to do. The rest of the internet says, don't even bother. Why would you? It's stupid. Just use a Deceptisol or get a preemptive strike or both and then just kill him. And it's like, yeah, but what if I don't want to? Or what if it's hard for some people to get a preemptive strike? Well, there you go. That's how you do it. Now, let's stop beating around the bush and actually fight him the way that everybody else does so we can get a 5-star ranking on that. And then we'll be good to go. Rav, put this stuff back, put that back, put this down here. Mystic Tower. Delta attack. I don't know why I'm singing. There we go. Okay. He's vulnerable to slow and curse, by the way, so if you want to get those debuffs up on him, you can, but I don't think it's particularly necessary. Oh yeah, I gotta put the general's belts on everybody again. This won't be a problem soon enough, by the way. We won't have to keep switching around our accessories. We'll have a third accessory for Lightning and for Fang pretty soon. We just don't have them currently, so I'm trying to just give them some general resistance that helps out in the step here. Alright, back to the thingy. Back to the Seath Stone so I can show you the normal way. You know, Frost Strike will be pretty good for these guys too once Lightning gets that. Don't have that yet, but it will be once we get it.
Easy.
Yeah, I thought we were going to finish him off. Sorry, I'm taking off socks that I don't need on. It's warm enough in here where I can afford to take them off. Okay, now, back to the Seath Stone. Do Mission 9 again. As long as I can get him in a preemptive strike fairly quickly, which probably isn't going to happen now that I said that, but we basically will be able to move on in short order here. I know I'm wasting a lot of time here, but honestly, like, just, it's okay. I'm okay with this. It's like, we're going to hit 19 or 20 streams before we finish this game anyway, so, like, I'm in it for the long haul. I might as well just roll with it, right? This is a teleport stone, by the way, so you can use this to teleport back to the other places if you want to. Look, you naturally align as a contrarian. You do different things just because you have more fun with it. I mean, and honestly, thinking up that strat was really stupid, but, like, it gives me similar vibes to the rest of Pulse, right? It's like a puzzle. You have to unravel all the pieces and figure out how they fit together in order to address the game's, like, difficulties that it puts in front of you while still expressing your own agency. And I think that's where Pulse really shines, is here's a bunch of stuff that you can kill whatever way you want, and you haven't had that freedom up to this point in the game, so it kind of gives you something to address while still being able to express yourself, and I think that's important in a game, so. Especially in a game that is like this, where it's been on rails for most of it, and so you kind of haven't had a lot of that expression, you know. So now you get to have that expression. Honestly, I don't even know if we need to level up anymore. We're killing these Gorgonopsids one at a time in one round, so might be worth it to just leave it. All right, so Kaiser Behemoth, he's got his back at the lake, so it's kind of hard to get him to, whatchamacallit, to show his back. But if you jump down on this ledge here, he'll come out from the lake and then present his back to a certain part of the area. So then you can hop back up, go around him, get in his blind spot, and get a preemptive strike. And if it doesn't preemptive strike, if it's like this, and it like he didn't see you, but it doesn't give you a preemptive strike anyway, just hit retry, and then just do the same thing. Go back to the ledge, jump down, wait for him to come back, and then get the preemptive. I find it very finicky to get a preemptive strike with him, though, because, like, you kind of got to hit it just right. Like, there's a dead angle in between his legs, basically, where you got to hit it or else he'll see you. I thought he just saw me there because I saw the little mark thing above his head. Okay, but we got the preemptive strike, so that's the important part. Weakness is earth, but I don't care about earth. That's fine. So. Okay. Let's see if he stands up on me when I go aggression. Yep, so this is a loss. So retry if he stands up on you. I might start an aggression and wait for Hope to stagger him and then launch him myself, because Fang will stabilize the gauge and then I can launch him myself. Well, okay, when I get to that point, so. But yeah, I just don't like having him stand up. That's the point, because then it just makes the battle take longer, and I don't want to make it take longer considering him. I'd like to move on today, Kaiser Behemoth, if you would let me. Which, at this point in time, you won't, because this is the third time I'm having to retry with you. But, you know. How many of those wolves have you sent to Cocoon so far? Everyone I've come across, I guess. Is he looking at me? Okay. Well, okay. Okay. Lightning, get down the ledge. All right, there we go. Now, hold on. Go back. See, the problem is that the camera doesn't have an option where you can set it so it doesn't follow you when you move, so it always automatically follows you when you move. And that makes it hard to do stuff like this, because you have to hold, like I'm holding down right on the camera, and it's not going anywhere, so I don't think I can preemptive him from here. Yeah, didn't think so. But I could preemptive him from there if I walk around enough. But like, I want it to turn so I can actually see where his back is, but the camera just won't cooperate. So, oh, come on. It is kind of funny messing around with him, though, because he can't figure out how to use for him, a knee-high ledge. So. Alright, did I hit the angle correctly this time? Yes, I did. Okay. So now we'll wait. Wait for Hope to do the stagger, because he should, yeah, be able to do it himself, and then I can launch him while everybody else charges up, and then they should be back, yeah, by the time I'm getting ready to do this, and he should go down in 3 seconds flat. So, but that's what most people do, is they just get a preemptive strike and then they launch him, and then that's it. GG. 3,000 Christogen points. And again, I wouldn't use this to grind, though, even though it's super easy to do, because you don't get any good gil from it. The bomb cores sell for a little bit, but it's not enough to warrant doing that over and over again, especially since I find it to be a little unreliable, since if you don't do that correctly, like I just did, he'll stand up and then it'll make the fight take that much longer to do. So, alright, but that takes care of that. Now we just need to go find mission 10. Now, if you look on the map, there is a mission list that you can address, although the only problem with this mission list is it doesn't show the next mission in order, basically. Like, it doesn't give you a hint as to where the next one is. I know where it is. I can see it on the map right now. It's that pulsating one that's above that rock formation there, but it doesn't show you where those are. So instead, you kind of have to look all over the map for these pulsating ones. This is mission 10 right here. And then just hope that you're in the right place. So that's what we'll do. We'll just go grab that one, and then we'll move on. And again, like I said, I'm going to be walking everywhere. At the moment, we don't have a teleport stone available for the XIII step. We just have the ones for the Massif and the Valus Media. But eventually, right now, we can go do a mission that will unlock the Waystone for the northernmost section of the XIII step. But I'm actually not going to do that mission until later, because I would personally say it's not worthwhile to actually bother with doing any teleporting until you've actually gone ahead and done like everything you need to do here. So again, especially because of the pedometer, you want to make sure you're keeping your steps up so you can get the reward at the end for it. That's why we're doing it. We're just doing it for the reward. I'm being extrinsically motivated, so. Can you pay 20k channel points to have me fight the strongest behemoth and let it stand up? I mean, I'll do it now. I don't need channel points if you want me to, if you want to see it stand up. I'll fight him straight up. I don't care. I think there is actually a Behemoth King on the way to the Ambling Bellows here. It's all the way across the steppe, so I'll just fight it normally and just let it stand up, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it's just gonna take longer, but I mean, we're in it for the long haul at this point anyway, so whatever. Yeah, you don't have to pay the 20k points, I'll just do it. Anyway, Mission 10, Hollow Hope. An ambling bellows is our target. The war claimed my family. The war claimed my home. This focus is my last remaining hope. I long for the release of crystal sleep. Perhaps when I wake, the world will be a better place. I should hurry and destroy the ambling bellows, raising havoc on the steppes' northern high plain. You didn't make it very far, did you there, Chief? Because you're on, well, it's called the Central Expanse, but it's more like the southern rock formations? I don't know. The mission over here by this obstacle is the one that you can use to unlock the Waystone, which is all the way up there. There's our mark on that unknown corner of the map, and that destination is leading us closer to Cocoon. The whole map will fill out approximately this space by the time we're done. So we've got a lot of road to trek, but that's okay. There's actually a relatively enemy-free route to where we're going. Relatively speaking, that is, but I'm going to fight a few enemies along the way just because there's some CP in it for us, and I might as well, you know. Especially if it's pretty free CP like these Gorgonopsids, you know, over and over again, so. It's always the last attack, huh, Fang? Just send them to the moon. One of these days, Gorgonopsid. You can also hit the roaming ones, by the way. I've been in situations where I've accidentally run into the roaming ones, and it just puts all of them in a fight with you, even if there's only like, they'll sometimes separate, but usually it's a battle of 3 or 4 of them when they roam. So just keep that in mind. Like this one. There's only one, but if we had hit him, I think his 3 buddies would have shown up, if I remember correctly. Now, Virulent Breath there actually will be a little bit less of a problem in a little while here once we find some more tetratic stuff, not just because of the fact that it won't poison us as often anymore, because Veil will give us 50% resistance to poison, but also because of the fact that Vigilance will give us 50% resistance from being stunned out of our attack when we get hit by Virulent Breath. So it's just it smells so bad it distracts us from damaging them. I mean, I guess that's as good an excuse as any, if I'm honest. I'm gonna fight these guys too, because they give pretty good EXP. I can probably just aggression right through most of them, so. Just see if that works. Probably get Auroraed while we're at it, but, you know. It's fine, I guess. Especially if they don't knock us up in the air, that's perfect. Okay, next. Fang, you gonna take care of that other one, or do I need to get involved? Nope, she got him. Alright, that's cool. Go here, just so we get our gauges up. Fang will send them to the moon again. Love how you started looking up the strongest behemoth in 13 and you get the Behemoth King hunt from 12. Appreciate giving 12 love, but wrong game! Yeah, I think I remember the Behemoth King from 12. That was the one... No, I think I'm thinking of Fafnir, actually, if I remember correctly. But there was one where you fought him in the Paramina Rift. And, like, they were in a snowstorm and you could only spawn them in certain spots. Some of the hunts in 12 are really weird because they had really like specific spawn conditions that were sometimes very counterintuitive and definitely sold a lot of strategy guides as a result of how counterintuitive they were. Oh boy. Hope, thank you for distracting that guy for me, but shouldn't we be focusing on one target at a time? Nice dodge, Lightning. Different one. Behemoth King should have been the one in the Feywood. Yeah, which one was the one in the Feywood? I remember the boss of the Feywood was that one nature dragon that was really annoying because he kept using Spore Fall, and all that did was give you status effects, and he would use it like every 6 seconds when he got down below a certain percentage of HP. So, I don't remember what the hunts were there. Or am I thinking of the Salika Wood? I think I get both of those confused sometimes. I'd have to look, honestly. It's been a while since I played 12. Well, I guess not a while. Well, when did I play Zodiac Age? I think I played Zodiac Age in 2020, I want to say. So I guess it's been like 3.5-ish years since I played it at this point. I guess it has been a little while, at least. Alright, so we've fought a bunch of stuff to get to this part of the map, but from here, if we walk around in this direction, if you walk up to the save point there, there's a dragon monster up by a chest there called an Amphisbena. And, I mean, it might be worth fighting it just to show off, but they're pretty tough at this point, and we're not as leveled up as I'd like to be to fight them, so I think I'll just hold off on that. It's one of these flying guys. One of them will swoop down, and they'll decide to say hello before you open the chest. There's nothing good in the chest anyway, though, so I'm not really too worried about it. But if you go down and around this way, it's actually pretty much enemy-free from here to... There's a little lake over here. As a matter of fact, it's free all the way past the lake, so... Well, yeah, it's a lot of cool scenery, huh, Hope? Let's hope we actually make it back there. Although at the rate we're going, I mean, unless we get these tattoos removed in Erba, we're pretty screwed. We're already at, like, the last stage of our tattoos there for our focus, because, like, I mean, you look at Saz's, his has the eye already getting ready to open up, so... We're in not great condition at the moment. Oh, almost got intercepted by a Gorgonopsid just there, running behind me. So I like to call this little section of the map Chocobo Lake. There's a reason for it, but, well, we don't know what the reason is yet, because I don't see a Chocobo, do you? Tell you what I do see at the north end of the lake, though. More sheep. I just love their little bot. It's so cute. It's absolutely adorable. Oh man, look at that guy. Mama and her pups? You'll forgive me if I don't want to meet the dad. Talk about direwolves. Good lord, man. We're already having... I mean, we're not having trouble with the Gorgonopsids, but... they're already enough of a problem to deal with. Meeps! Yeah, there you go. That's Golmore Jungle. The boss of the Feywood should have been the Rafflesia. Yeah, the Rafflesia was... Was that to unlock Neighborious Deadlands? God, it's been such a long time since I did that. Sorry, being a nerd right now for one of your favorite Final Fantasy games. No, it's fine. I don't mind, because it's one of my favorites as well, so I'm definitely okay with that. It's all good. What do I want to start with here? I could probably start Ravcom Rav. I'm going to go Smart Bomb almost immediately, though, because you can get slow and curse on him. But if we're going to fight him straight up, I definitely want some debuffs on him. I'm still going to use a Sentinel, don't get me wrong, but, like, getting those debuffs will be pretty important. Wait, that's the wrong button. There we go. Well, the gauge will be very stable in a second, so... Alright, Fang, go ahead. Get slow and curse on him. Curse especially, because curse lets us interrupt him by just smacking him around with our stuff, so... And I think she can get slow on him? No, he's immune to slow. Okay, well, then I guess we'll just go Delta attack. Use my, this. The problem with letting him stand up is that Curse is nice for right now, because every attack that you use interrupts him. But if he stands up, he gains a lot of resistance to being disrupted, even if he has Curse, if I remember correctly. So he's pretty close at the moment to getting there. So probably one more round of Delta attack and he'll be there. I might go Combat Clinics just to... No, you know, I'll just cast Renew. It's fine. Might as well.
No hesitation.
There we go. Alright, big guy, you gonna stand up for me pretty soon? Or am I cursing you too much? There we go. I can actually start using Ruin now instead, so that's fine. Alright, I'm gonna go Mystic Tower. Lightning, this is a really bad position that you've gotten yourself in, and walking towards him is not going to help you. just saying. Let Fang do her thing. Alright, I'll probably I'll have to heal Lightning in like a second here. Yeah, let's just heal now so that way it's done. Before I get dropped by just a Thundaga randomly coming my way. Ow. Alright, I'm gonna leave myself at this health because I think I'm okay. I don't think Lightning will get closer now that she's, like, falling over dead, so that's probably okay. Fang might die. Oh, I got closer because of the attack. That's my bad. Back up. There we go. Back up a little, Lightning. Now back up again. Okay, we got far enough away where the Thundara won't hit us. Okay, but we should be able to get him staggered pretty soon, and then we can go aggression and do kind of the same thing we did previously. You'll notice that his stagger resistance is a lot higher, though, as a result of him transforming, which is just not great for us. I don't know why I'm reviving Fang if I'm going to die here in a second, but, you know. We might get him before he walks over here and murders me. Okay, she got him challenged, so that's good. Okay, hang on. Quickly go aggression. Don't meta guard anymore. We just want to launch him. I'm going to walk into an attack right now, but that's okay. Alright, I'll go back down. Alright, there we go. But yeah, it's the same strat once you get him up in the air again. Just keep him there. Because it's the same idea. You don't want him to come back down, no matter what the situation is, even if you did let him transform, so... And just so that you can see, okay, he didn't gain 800,000 HP, but he has 756,000 once he stands up. So, did you just whiff? No, never mind. It looked like she whiffed for a second there. But you can still get him, it's just a lot tougher of a fight, that's all. Still got the 5-star, though. I don't know, I prefer being in control of fights like that, personally, and when they stand up like that, it's like, no, I've just lost control of the fight, and it's a lot easier for me to die, and then I have to do this whole thing over, so. 12 is carried really hard by Balthier as a character and the VA. Oh my god, yeah, Gideon Emery is fantastic, I love him. He's great, and Balthier's great as an extension of that. Alright, so the mark is down this little valley. Now, this little valley is kind of infamous. Well, I don't know if infamous is the right word. Probably just famous, because if you walk past the save point here... Ah, maybe that's the dad. He's picking a hell of a fight, though. He's fighting a Behemoth King. So, this fight that's happening down here, the enemies actually will not notice you, so you will get a guaranteed preemptive strike on this fight. Now, what you can do is you can use this to do some quick CP grinding if you're a little bit behind. It's a little bit trickier than just killing one thing at a time, though. What I like to do is, because you're going to get a preemptive strike, you're going to need to stabilize the gauge on 2 enemies, which are fighting each other, but you also need to make sure that the Behemoth King doesn't stand up, because if he does, he will kill the Magistetherian, which is the wolf, the dire wolf there, and then he'll kill you. So, instead of just trying to fight the Behemoth King straight up and just killing him as quickly as you can, switch the paradigm to aggression, because when you have 2 commandos on the field, they'll each target a different enemy. So this way, Hope and I can handle the Behemoth King, Fang will keep the gauge steady for the Magistetherian, and then once we kill the Behemoth King, we can switch over to Relentless Assault and fight the Magistetherian straight up just by himself. And that will make this a pretty quick little CP grind, as you'll see in a second. This fight sucks. Your grind spot's nearby, though. Yeah, there's a couple of pretty good grind spots around here. Like, I think the spot down there is pretty good, too, because there's just a lot of enemies, and you can respawn them by coming up here, so... There's probably about 4 fights down there with just a Magistetherian and about a dozen Gorgonopsids. And that gets you good CP anyway, so... But there's a few spots that you can use here on the step. I like this one, because, again... Well, in this particular case, they can't see us, Hope, so that's why we're gonna... Okay, goodbye, camera. That's why we're going to use it. So, Magistetherian, Behemoth King, wait for Hope to stagger him first. There we go. Then throw him up into the air before he does his thing. Again, Fang will keep the Magistetherian busy. He's more busy with the Behemoth King anyway than he's busy with us, so it's okay. We can bother with him later once we do this, so. Get him before he gets up too much lightning. And that's it. Switch to Relentless Assault. The Magistetherian, once staggered, is pretty manageable because he can be launched. He's weak to fire, so just toss fireballs at him, and yeah, this fight's basically over. So, if you want, you can also get Infire on your weapons, and that'll let you do a lot more damage to him, but I find just tossing fireballs at him with lightning and hope works pretty well. I mean, as long as you launch him. He deals pretty good damage if you don't, but he's pretty manageable at this point, so. And that fight gets you 6,600 CP for basically a 30 to 40 second fight, so that's really good. It doesn't get much better than that around here, honestly. But again, I don't like that one. I'm going to liberally abuse it every time we're in this section of the map, don't get me wrong. But I don't like that one as a grinding spot, because grinding in this game should get you CP and Gil. And if it doesn't get you both, it's probably not as efficient as it could be. Like I said, there's one spot that I prefer that I'll show off later on in the game, so. Don't have access to it just yet, but we gotta leave the step first before we can go do that one. And actually, we have to beat the area that it's in order to do it. It doesn't respawn until then, so. Found the cave spot better because it starts off slow, but man, once it gets going, it's constant preemptive strikes. Yeah, the cave down here, yeah, it's actually a good spot for it as well, because the enemies in there give a surprisingly large amount of CP for surprisingly easy fights. And they're just boom, boom, boom over and over and over again, so yeah, that's also a good spot. I'm not going to go in there today, but it is. If you continue down this path, the path that Marie's talking about, the cave is right there, so you can use that as a good grind spot. I'm going to get a preemptive strike on the Ambling Bellows. Not necessarily because I need him to be killed in one stagger, but because this allows me to use Smart Bomb while his stagger gauge is really high to get a bunch of debuffs on him. He's actually vulnerable to Pain and Fog, so if Fang can get those on him, that would be perfect, like before he gets fully down from his stagger gauge. Okay, she got Pain. That's actually the important one. Fog, I don't think, does a whole lot for him. Pain is really nice, though, because it basically prevents him from doing anything for the remainder of the fight. I kind of feel bad for the guy. I'm not gonna lie about it. I do. I kind of feel bad for him. I'll do the same, actually. Smites! Double smites! Nice combo, you two. Alright, switch to Relentless Assault. We'll get him staggered again. The Preemptive Strike will get us a big bonus to our target time, though, because of the initiative. But yeah, with him pained and fogged, this is over, basically. So he'll just kind of stand there, waiting for the sweet, sweet embrace of death. And again, I kind of feel bad for it, but hey, you know, this is what happens when you stand in my way, I guess. I think we can probably just kill him at this point. I don't think we need to go further down, yeah. And that's that. If you don't get a preemptive strike, again, recommendation would be to get Pain on him. So probably play as Fang if you're not going to get a preemptive strike. Get Pain on him, and then he's a lot easier to deal with. He gives us 4 more superconductors, though, so that's pretty nice. Now I don't have to buy those. And, I mean, that only saves me, like, 2,500 gil, but hey, it's more that I don't have to pay, you know? By the way, respawning this fight is really easy, and that's why a lot of people use it for CP grinding, because all you have to do is walk up this hill from the fight. Like, let's say you just finished the fight. Walk up this hill, excuse me, go past the save point just a little bit, like right about here, turn back around, and they're back at it again. So now you can get 6,600 more CP again. And I'm going to, just because I'm here, so I may as well, you know. See, that's the thing, is that I don't really like grinding in games, but what I like to do is what I like to call selective grinding. And what I mean by that is I'll find a spot where it's like, oh, everybody just runs in here and they grind for an hour or two before they move on. And it's like, I'm not going to grind here for an hour, but I am going to, every time I walk to this side of the map, I'm going to fight them and get the CP. And I'm also going to try to invent convenient excuses for coming up here again, if possible. Because then it'll let me fight them again to get a little more CP. You don't have to be that in-depth with it, though. It's not that critical, but I figure while we're up here, we may as well, you know. Nice camera angle. Alright. But yeah, see how much damage he just did to lightning in one swipe there? That was like 800 damage. Holy shit. So he's pretty strong. But pretty easy to beat when you get him to half health from the preemptive strike plus him fighting something else and then just kick his ass after you defeat the Behemoth King, so. And yeah, like I said, if you want to use that as a grind spot, just walk back to the save point, walk forward again, and then they're there, and you're good to go. Oh, and also, sometimes when I'm over here, I'll, like, try to look over this ledge, and I'll just, like, stop, but then I'll fall off. Exactly like that. So there's, like, it's a little bit finicky, because you can actually fall off of that a lot easier than it seems like, but you can walk back up here pretty easily, so. Is that just 4 Gorgon Opposites? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's fight them while we're here, too. Why not? If you're fighting Gorgon Opposites with a Magistetherian at this point, by the way, I would personally recommend actually using Sentinel until you get rid of the Gorgon Opposites, and then use just go Relentless Assault and use Fire instead of Blizzard to deal with them. So I don't know why I'm using Blitz like this, but hey, if it works, I guess. And I'll take the little bit of extra CP. Probably fight the Behemoth King again while I'm up here, once I get up here and I get to the save point. I don't know, the rest of them are just kind of hanging out, though. Looks like Mama's trying to rouse her pups, but they're not having any of it. That's funny.
Hey, none of that here.
Well, I'm just laughing at the Magistetherian. What are you talking about? Gotta make some light jokes while we're here, Fang. Gotta have fun while we're on the road. I mean, we're all gonna be, you know, moving on pretty soon anyway, whether that means we're actually gonna get rid of these brands or we're gonna die, so we gotta have a little fun while we're at it. Alright, we're not at that 70, I think it was 78,000 I said, so we're not gonna do anything with that yet. I did re-equip the General's belts, right? I did. That Magistetherian still did 800 damage to lightning despite a General's belt. That's nuts. Alright. So our next mission is Mission 11. And Mission 11 is in kind of a bizarre spot. I would think it would have been right there where the Ambling Bellows fell. Like it would have been where that other Seath Stone is down there. But that's a different mission. I believe that one down there is Mission 17. Mission 11 is like somewhere in this section here. So we got to wander back this way in order to grab it, and then we can move from there. So that's what we're going to do. Hey, big guy. Wanna tussle? Let's see if you know how to tussle. Guess so.
Change of plan.
Alright, Delta attack it up. Stabilize the gauge with 2 rounds, and I think that might be it. We might stay Mystic Tower for the rest. So I don't want to accidentally overdo it here. That wouldn't be good. But the further along we go with our Crystarium, the more, like if you get roll level 4 for anybody before you finish up on the step for Ravager, it actually helps quite a bit with staggering because you get more percentage at roll level 4 than you do at 3. Generally speaking, though, that also means that you're getting more damage because you've upgraded your magic, so you got to be a little careful with it, you know. Otherwise, you might have lightning. Don't. Okay, walk there. Fang tanked it with her body, so it's fine. But yeah, generally with more damage, this becomes less and less reliable to do, to the point where later on in the game, you're probably just going to have them stand up anyway, so you may as well just deal with it. Are you going to get there? No, not yet. Switch to aggression, and yep, there we go. Let Fang go, wait for her to be done, and then I'll go. I would switch to Relentless Assault, but I kind of don't want to because I need to make sure we have multiple people that can launch him in case he comes down and Fang's AI freaks out. Because sometimes that happens. The AI just you'll want them to do something, and they just won't be able to figure it out in time. And in this particular case, it's time sensitive because we don't want him to stand back up. So we just want to make sure we don't get into a sticky situation here. That's all. Honestly, though, like, here's the thing. Like, the grass is low res, but the grass isn't really what you're looking at. And with the way that the LOD is in this place, it still looks really good even to this day. I mean, the mountain clipping into the clouds in the back there is a little bit of a problem, but other than that, like, it still looks... I can turn the camera, and then we don't even see that. It still looks pretty great because your focus is not on the low-res grass. Your focus is on the backdrop out there. And because the backdrop has LOD going on and it reduces the polygon count the further out you go, it just makes it look really good, even though it's, you know, last-gen hardware, basically. So Pulse is very meandering before you get all the teleport seat stones. And again, you don't have to meander this much. You could just unlock the teleport stones and be done with it and then just teleport from one place to another. But I'm choosing to walk for a very specific reason. You pondering the orb there, big guy? It's a baby. This is his treasure. No one else is allowed to have it. That treasure contains a gold nugget, by the way. It's worth 60,000 gil, so it's tempting, but we are not prepared for an adamantulid yet. I'll tell you when we are, but we're not there yet. Probably could use Blizzard, a pretty good effect here, but we might as well just wait and just do this one at a time like we've been doing. So. To the moon! I never get tired of watching Fang send them to the moon, I'll be honest. Like I said, I might not even level up here anymore, just because if every single time the last attack that Fang uses on them is just the launch animation, I'd be happy with that. Like, see what I mean? There's just something so satisfying. I feel like PETA could, like, watch this stream and get on my case for that, but there's just something so satisfying watching her send enemies to the fucking moon. It's just, I don't know, it's just funny to me. Just watch it in motion, you know? Oh, well, I was going to say a Behemoth King and Gorgonopsids, but that's not what I'm saying oh to. I'm saying oh to this weather condition, because sometimes on the northern sections of the steppe, fog will roll in. When the fog rolls in, the behemoths roll in. This is 2 Behemoth Kings in a single fight, right here. So, have fun with that one. I'm gonna avoid that like the plague, thank you very much. I don't think we're ready for that just now. I mean, I do it the same way I do the other Behemoth King fights, I just... Really? I just fight them one at a time, and once we staggered the one, I'd go to aggression. Well, I wouldn't be able to go to aggression. I'd have to go to relentless assault, but we'd have Fang launch them, and then we'd just go from there, switch to the other one, and go. But I believe that one's guarding platinum bangles.
I don't forget sights like this.
It's I can barely see out here. I don't know what you mean by sights like this. Oh God. Okay, we're out of their sight range now. The mission is over there, so I got to be a little careful here because I don't want to run afoul of the Behemoth Kings. Because they're surprisingly quick buggers for being like 3 tons of muscle. I mean, I guess that's why they're surprisingly quick, because they're 3 tons of muscle. Sorry, I had a minor heart attack there because one of them was following me. Oh, good, more of them. If the fog rolls out, by the way, and it gets back to being a sunny day, you'll actually notice the Behemoth Kings will disappear, and the regular enemy spawns in this area will come back. I think the fog's still here, though, so I don't think they'll disappear just yet, but I guess I could... Yeah, no, it's still foggy, so they're not going to go away yet. But, like, you'll actually see them, like, disappear, and then their draw distance will bring in a different enemy, so... If PETA got up in arms about a 10-year-old game, they'd still lose credibility. Probably. It was definitely pondering that orb, yeah, for sure. It's funny because there's a couple of adamantulids on the steppe here that ponder the orb. So, oh look, the Adroas that we had to fight in Mission 4 are back for another fight. We're a lot stronger than we were before now, so this shouldn't be a problem. This is Mission 11, Pride Before a Fall. My focus this time appears to be dispatching an Adroa, one Adroa, on the Archaeolt's step. I don't know how many years has passed since the Fal'Cie last called upon me, but there seem to be more beasts about. Not that it matters. Provided I can complete my focus and retain my master's favor, I will never die, and a little hardship is a small price to pay for an eternity of peaceful dreaming. Wonder what kind of nightmares this person had beforehand that they'd want an eternity of peaceful dreaming. See, but yeah, there's only one behemoth over there now, so... And then by coming up here, we get to see this site. It's Turtle Valley. It's the mama and the papa and the babies. So cute. Gigantic dinosaurs that will murder me with a single step, but they're still so cute. Alright, let's go fight 4 Gorgonopsids and a Magistotherian because I have no chill. Alright, so 2 Blizzaras and then switch to Delta attack. And we can start blitzing away. Again, just generally want Fang to draw their attention. That's the important part here. Because the Gorgonopsids should be mostly staggered because there's so many of them that Hope will start using AoE attacks instead of using non-AoE. And that should allow you to stagger them and very quickly dispatch them with Blitz. So, I think it's just this one now, though. So, yeah. And the if there's fog in the area, it actually causes this weird like filter effect on the battle. That's normal when there's fog. So, just in case anybody's wondering what that's all about, that's what it is. You know, if I had Flame Strike, this would probably work a lot better because then I could use Bravery in full effect on him. But yeah, I can use Fire. It's fine. Excuse me. Hope's got Fire with Faith going, so that's fine. I think at this point, he's got a pretty high magic stat. Like, he's stacked to the ceiling pretty well at this point because of how high his magic is with Faith. Like, I think, I have to look, but I think he's pretty close to 500 magic. And that means he gets, like, 200 extra magic with Faith on, which is kind of crazy. Like, that's a lot of extra damage potential he's got there for a single accessory slot. So... But yeah, it's not too bad. Just use a Sentinel. It helps kind of keep the enemies in a nice tight group so Lightning and Hope can dispatch them with AoE, and then you can just go from there. Now we can actually get across to that ledge later, but at the moment we don't have the ability to use these yellow, well, launch pads basically, so since we don't have the ability to use them yet, we can't get across that valley, so anything up there is off limits at the moment. Huh. Man, that one's really pondering the orb. The other one was like, no, this is my shiny rock. No one can take it from me. This one's like, what the hell is that thing? It's freaking out, man. Sometimes I just have too much fun with these games, though. Like, I just look at stuff and I'm easily amused, so it just, I don't know. It just provides a lot of silly fun for me. Oh, look, the Munchkins got an upgrade. Let's see how hard they hit this time. These are goblins. If you were wondering where the hell they've been the whole game, this is where they've been the whole game. Rule of thumb for goblins, spam Ruinga. Why? Because look at how quickly Lightning can do this. Okay, now there's only 2, so maybe spamming Ruinga is not a good idea. But they take half damage from physical attacks, so it's probably in your best bet. Oh, I didn't kill the one. Okay, so it just looked like I did. But it's probably in your best bet to spam magical attacks against them since they take less damage from physical attacks. So, no, I don't want you to Aqua Strike. I want you to just do 5 waters, I guess, because I don't know what he's... Okay, definitely don't use Thunder. So that's the important part there. But yeah, when there's a nice group of at least 3 enemies and Lightning uses Ruinga, it costs 3 ATB to use, but she charges back up so quickly from hitting multiple enemies that it doesn't really matter how much it costs. It just, you get it back so fast, it's like, whatever. Alright, I think we can go Smart Bomb now, because when there's only 1, it's pretty easy to do, so... They're vulnerable to Curse, so if Fang gets that on them, that would be great, so then we can just Relentless Assault and finish them up. Send him into orbit, and then just ruin. We might not get a 5-star on this one, though. I was too busy spamming Ruinga, so it might we might get a reduced rating because I was being silly at the beginning. Oh, never mind. Still worked out. We still had 1,000 points to spare. Fair enough. Pulse is cool. Yeah, I just really get into the environment here, honestly. They kind of let they take you off the leash after being stuck on the reins for so long that it's just a breath of fresh air for me personally, so. All right, where are we going now? Okay, the Adroas are down there. Mission 12 is there, so we'll go there after that. But I want to make my way across the steppe to, like, the corner over here somewhere. I don't think we're going to grab these corners just yet to fill the map out, but we do eventually want to fill them all out, but there'll be times to go there. The reason why I want to go up here is because there's a treasure chest that I want to get up in that direction, so. There's the Amphispina that we can fight. I don't remember what he's vulnerable to. I don't think he's vulnerable to anything in particular that Fang can do, though, so I think I might just fight him and just use Delta Attack and Mystic Tower to build him up. If I remember correctly, these ones are annoying because they take halved damage from magical attacks, so I think they're a little more annoying than their cousins to fight. This one's... I don't remember why this one's here, but I think they patrol, like, the northern section on your way to Turtle Valley pretty often, so... I think Blizzard and Arrow works on me? I know Arrow works, I don't remember the other one. I think it's the opposite of the Svarog, though, so, like, I think the Svarog was Fire and Arrow. So, oh, he's not even halved, he's resistant, so it does even less than 50% damage. That's nuts. I'm still gonna use Ruin to keep myself the hell away from him. I guess I don't have to now, but because Fang's got him targeted. This is the problem, though, right, is that his hitbox is really funky, so sometimes it's hard to hit him because of the way that his hitbox interacts with you, so... Alright, I'm just going to go aggression and see what happens. Wait, hold on. Wait for Fang to go. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, no, I guess it does, because if we do this correctly, then he can be stunned the whole time and he won't just instantly kill Hope with Feeding Stoop. Which, goodbye, Hope. I'm just gonna keep going. It's fine. Might get hit by that, but that's fine. Oh, I guess Deep Bravery's no good. But it's probably, I was gonna say, it's gonna spam something I don't want to use, but at least Fang still got it, so there we go. That didn't go so bad. I mean, Hope died, but we still got a 5-star ranking, and it's 3,500 CP, so that's not terrible. I'll take it. Don't really want to fight those guys, though. They're just a little annoying, in my opinion. Alright, we are at the Great Trench. I have nicknames for all these little sections because it helps me, like, figure out where I am, you know. So, it's just a big chunk out of the ground, essentially. Well, another Magistotherian. We know how to handle these at this point. He's guarding a chest that doesn't have the thing I'm looking for, but I'll take it anyway. They're all looking at you, Fang. They're wondering why you're challenging them. Oh, you're approaching me? I don't even know what that's from. Well, at least the poison's going away. Alright, Mystic Tower, go, go. Spam fire! Why is a direwolf weak to fire anyway? Am I, like, lighting his mane on fire or something, and that's why? Because, like, the Gorgonopsids are weak to blizzard, which I guess makes sense because they don't have a lot of fur to work with, but, like, this guy? I don't know. Probably for that reason, though. I'm just gonna go. It's fine. We don't need to keep this guy in the air as much as the other one, because we can just ATB refresh in order to kill him from here. Gonna say, whenever you're ready, Fang. Alright, up you go. I always found it pretty comical how high they launch enemies into the air in this game as well. Like, it just seems a little bit more than what you'd expect. I think, though, it might be for a gameplay purpose, because, like, if an enemy is small and you don't launch them comically high in the air, they might be hard to see behind other characters. So I think they might do that for... Wow, you're really far afield, aren't you? Holy hell. You normally don't walk this far up north. Normally, you're like... That whole open area is your field. This is like the upper limit of where you walk. What the hell, man? They got hops. They might all be wearing Jordans. Something like that, yeah. They just... Like I said, I think it's done for a gameplay purpose because small enemies would be hard to see behind other characters if you launch them, but they don't go up very high, so... I think that might actually be part of it. Alright, let's help the goblins kill the Gorgonopsids first, I guess. Why not? Then we'll go Delta attack. And we will spam Ruinga! I should wait till they all get really bunched up together, though, before I do it again. Go on, I know you wanna. Get in there. Okay. Like, you see what I mean, though? You can just throw 3 hand grenades at them in very quick succession because of how much it hit. Like, look at how much bar I just got back from hitting all 3 of them. I can do it again! Oh, the holy hand grenade is back, and it's here with a vengeance. Let me tell you what. Oh, man. Yeah, Ruinga's a lot of fun. When enemies cooperate with Ruinga, it's a lot of fun to just mess with. Alright, I'm just gonna smart bomb them in here. I think they're vulnerable to all of Fang's status ailments, if I remember correctly, though. So, like, I think they're vulnerable to Slow, Pain, Fog, and Curse, but I could be wrong about that. The most important one is Curse to get on them, because then you can interrupt them while they're punching each other and you. So, I don't think the Holy Hand Grenade was meant to be spammed. They didn't mass produce it. Well, I have more than one in this one, and this is why they didn't mass produce it. It was too powerful to be mass produced. Okay, so generally I want to stay up on the ridge here, because I don't want to mess with the baby. And I believe that is another entrance to Turtle Valley down there, but, well, you're messing with the papa if you go down there, I think. Oh no, that's the mama, I think. Is that a Gorgonopsid? So you're pondering the tiny wolves while the rest of your children are pondering the orb? Alright then. They've all got their priorities straight, I guess. Well, this is ominous. What kind of ritual sacrifice bullshit? What'd they do, just lay down and die? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Hope. This is the Circle of Seath Stones. You'll use these much later in the game in what I would consider to be post-game content to fight some of the tougher marks in the game in order to change some of the enemies that are available to fight on the Archaeolt Steppe. It changes around the giant dinosaurs to even stronger giant dinosaurs. So that's fun. But we're not worried about the giant dinosaurs at the moment. We've got smaller dinosaurs to fry first. So let's fry this one. It's another scale beast, Nabadon, but we can handle this one. Alright, you absorb electricity, it looks like. No, that's Blizzard that you did. Vulnerable to fire damage, got it. Switch to Smart Bomb. The reason why you want to switch to Smart Bomb on this guy is because he's vulnerable to just about every status ailment that Fang has in her kit, including Pain and Fog. So, yeah, might as well get those on him while we're here. We're not going to get him in one preemptive strike stagger anyway, so just let Fang do her thing. So now I think, if I remember correctly, at this point he can do everything. He can't do anything, excuse me, except regenerate Carapace if we give him an opportunity to actually move. But since we didn't, well, he can't regenerate the Carapace, and you can just kill him very quickly. So I think, unless we don't kill him this time around, because the stagger gauge was really low, or has a really low amount of time on it, because Fang was taking her sweet time there. A double smite might kill him. Let's see. Nope. Okay, no, that's fine. If you do this incorrectly, by the way, he may actually regenerate his carapace when you stagger him. It's not an interaction that's supposed to happen, but it can happen. It's kind of annoying when it does, because then you can't hardly do any damage to him. You're doing like double-digit damage even though he's staggered, which is just no good. Yeah, oh, I remember that circle. Fuck that circle. Not very much fun, honestly. I think some of the enemies in it are pretty easy to beat, but some of them are pretty hard, too. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel like fighting Navidons, if I'm honest. I think we might just wait on that. Am I looking in the right spot here? I think I can hear a treasure chest. Oh, it's up there. Yeah. No, we're not getting that today. Not to worry, we'll have a way of getting all these chests eventually, just not yet. Suppose we could fight these Rongda fights with the Navidons, though. Like, the Navidons themselves, they have Icy Breath, so I guess that can be kind of annoying, but the Rongdas we can handle. Like, those are pretty easy to kill. So, matter of fact, I might go Aggression and let Fang and Lightning just go nuts on them. Because Fang should, yeah, keep targeting the Rongdas to start with, so... And then once we kill them, we can move on to fighting the big guy who keeps trying to interrupt me. Did we not get that one? Okay. Alright, we'll go Delta attack for a second while I take care of the Rongda. Okay, off he goes. Now we can build the gauge just a little bit there. Let's see. Resistant, resistant. So he's immune to the other stuff, absorbs ice, weak to earth, but, well, I'm not using Quake or anything right now. But Fire Thunder works pretty good, I guess. As good as it can, anyway. Alright, and then go to Smart Bomb, get every status ailment in Fang's kit on him while building the gauge. And then we can send him to the moon. Again, I'm pretty sure he can regenerate Carapace, even if he has Pain and Fog on him, but he can't really do anything else except just kind of stand there at that point, so... You're in pretty good shape once you do that. So. I think we should be able to get him if we switch and refresh. Lightning doesn't stand there just looking at him.
Be ready for the next fight.
And by the way, the Rongdas, because they can summon stuff, for some weird reason, most enemies that can conjure stuff into battle or summon other enemies, it doesn't add to the target time, but Rongdas specifically, for some reason, add a ton of target time to the fights. So if you're going to fight the Navidons here, I'd recommend actually fighting them with the Rongdas, because you're practically guaranteed to get 5 stars from the fight, and you'll get a good chunk of CP as well. I mean, that was 2 Rongdas and a Navidon. We got over 4,000 CP from that one fight, and that didn't take very long. It's not as efficient as, you know, the other one with... I don't know if I want to do this one, though. 2 Navidons? I think I'll pass on that one. But yeah, if it's just 1 Navidon and a bunch of Rongdas, yeah, definitely go for that one. It has a really high target time. The Navidon himself is pretty easy to deal with, and the Rongdas are pretty simple, so... Yeah, definitely don't pass these ones up. You sure they have a rock thing? Sometimes I'm not sure with these enemies. Pardon me, Navidon, I have Rongdas to murder. There we go. Hope, are you okay over there? No, he's kind of dying. Alright, we'll Delta attack so that he's not dying anymore. Oh good, Lightning stayed away from him long enough to not get hit by that. Mystic Tower. Build the gauge once. Yeah, that's fine. And then go Smart Bomb. Do it again. Sorry for the blinking lights in the background, because Hope is dying a little bit. I guess I could use Renew. I don't need the summon bar just yet. I'll need it for Mission 12, but we'll kill enough stuff before then to get 2 bar back, so... I think we should be fine. Alright, she got all of her stuff on it, so let's just go to Aggression and see how much damage we can do. not even going to bother trying to keep him juggled like the Behemoth Kings because I don't have to. He can't do anything except regenerate his carapace, so... we might get him. Go, Lightning, go. Yeah.
That's how it's done.
13's combat just grew on you as you got older. It's similar to how you love the jank mess that is Mega Man X6. Yeah, there's just something about X6 that just... it's like a morbid fascination that I have with it. I don't really have a morbid fascination with this game's combat, but that's kind of because I enjoyed it personally just normally. I honestly think it's pretty fast-paced while still being basically a turn-based game, but I think they did a good job of mixing it up with this game's combat. It's enjoyable without being like just an action RPG system, you know what I mean? I enjoyed 10's combat for what it's worth as well, and I think it's made by the same person, so... like, I know it's the same development team, but I'm not sure if the battle designer is the same in 10 as it was in this game, so... Alright, we're going to go fill this little section of the map out, and then we'll just go that way to the save point by the lake, and then the Adroas are right there. Mission 12 is right there. I don't remember where Mission 13 is, though. I think it's that one right there, but I could be wrong about that. And then that one's Mission 14 up there. So we'll see how many of those we get done. We got about an hour and 15 minutes left, so we should probably get most of those done. I mean, I'm still walking everywhere, but that's not a huge deal. Oh, the chest that I just got. We got an Earth Charm out of that treasure chest just there. Hold on to this one. The speed sash that we grabbed you can sell. I'm never going to use it personally, so if you're doing the same things I'm doing, just sell it. It's just money at this point. But keep the Earth Charm, because we're going to star the Earth Charm, and we're going to dismantle it to get our first accessory of the only variety of resistance that I actually care about holding on to in the entire game. There is no Bar Earth, or Bar Quake. And that should give you enough of an incentive to say, yeah, you know, maybe that can be worth it to hold on to. Now, Earth Charm as it is, it has the effect Random Earth Eater, and that has a chance, it's random, but a chance of absorbing any earth damage that you take. I'm not a big fan of it, because absorbing things is cool, but not if it's random, you know what I mean? I'd rather it be guaranteed, even if it only gives me resistance to the element, which, incidentally, is what you can do with it. If you dismantle it at a star ranking, you get a version of the item that gives you just a flat percentage resistance to Earth. So, and as many people who do farming in the end game in this game will tell you, Earth resistance is the most important resistance by a long shot. They're banging at me again. That's nice. Do I level up? I feel like we're doing fine without leveling up, so I may just bank the CP for now. Like, I feel like it's just, we've got enough damage to where I don't feel like I have to level up at the moment, you know? So maybe I'll just wait. We're going to use this team to fight the Adroas because they're pretty simple, so. And then for Mission 12, we're actually going to get, we're going to let Saz, Snow, and Vanille out and let them do some stuff, so. Not to worry, they do have a use. I'm just primarily using them for bosses at the moment, so. You know, while we're thinking about it, let's just upgrade that Earth Charm now so that I've got it done. And then I might just dismantle it into what I want while it's here. Let's see. Oh, we got a sturdy bone from somewhere. That's cool. Might as well just leave that there. Alright, I only need 750 to get to the thing, so I might just use... How much do those bomb cores give? Oh, a lot. Okay. Maybe I won't just use those for now, then. 617. That'll get me to 683, so we're not quite there yet. Use all of these things I have one of. How about that? And I don't think I need any more, actually, so let's just use a shell. 2 shells, excuse me. Yeah, I don't need any more, so there we go. So, star the Earth Charm. Then go to the Dismantle category here. If you dismantle the Collector Catalog, I don't remember what it gives you, but I don't think it's anything particularly good, so I wouldn't dismantle this catalog. There is a catalog that I will be dismantling later, but not yet. Dismantle the Earth Charm, and it'll get you 10 Chocobo Plumes, 3 Crystal Oscillators if you need the synthetic materials, although I think Crystal Oscillators sell for a bit, so it might be worth keeping those just to sell. And then, again, an important item, the Clay Ring. Gives you a flat 20% resistance to all earth damage, And if you upgrade this, it upgrades twice total. If you upgrade it all the way up, it can give you a total of 40% earth resistance by the end. We're going to want 3 of those eventually for very specific reasons. But we'll worry about those reasons much later when we actually have enough strength to do it and have all the puzzle pieces fit together to actually do it. We don't have all the puzzle pieces yet, so, you know. Oh, you definitely suggest, Tevi, you do a good job of warning people about flashing lights that you'll suffer in that game just dealing with bosses. Oh, fun. It'll be like that cave in Final Fantasy Legend 2 all over again. Need to bribe people to get you to play Tevi, even if you drop it after a couple of streams. I mean, all you gotta do is, like... I mean, so it would be you to suggest it, and then... I'm trying to think how else it would go. Because, like, I guess I could have fought those guys, but... The Adroas are down this little hallway, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be 3 other people to suggest something in order for me to pick it. So I guess it's not a matter of bribing, it's a matter of just there being enough people here to suggest stuff. So it doesn't just end up off the list. That's just the problem, is that we just haven't... I think it might have been because I switched my schedule. And because I switched my schedule over, we just haven't had enough people here for the past few streams to where it just does... It lets people suggest stuff. Because I think my audience before was like... There was a good chunk of European viewers, because I was streaming at a time that was convenient for Europe, but... not so much the US, because I would start when people were just getting out of work, so they'd come home and then they'd eat and, you know, they'd have to make dinner or whatever, and they wouldn't necessarily have a chance to watch before I was done. But European audience, it was like 9 o'clock at night when I started, so it ended up working out nicely for them. Is this worth fighting? 2 Gorgonopsids and a Navidon? I don't know. I guess the Navidon will be at half HP, so that can help a little bit. But yeah, we'll get rid of the Gorgonopsids first because they're nice, quick, easy pickings. Man, and that was through Protect as well. Good lord, Hope. Slow down. Okay, well. Is it worth using a Phoenix down here? Yeah, I guess I will. Oh good, he turned so that I wouldn't get hit by that. Fun. Alright. Just do up a Fire Thunder combo, and then we'll switch to Smart Bomb once we stagger him. Get every status ailment in the game on. Is it worth doing this, or should I have just Aggression smacked him? Probably just Aggression smacked him, but we can do that in a second. I'll do one more round of this. There we go. That's good enough. We should finish him anyway, because I don't think he'll live long enough to actually have me take advantage of those, so nope. Goodbye. School is more important, though. I mean, yeah, I guess, you know, it's one of those things. It's like you gotta manage all of that stuff together, you know what I mean? So, and I was actually talking about it at the beginning of the stream today. I think my schedule for school is going to be more, like, my schedule for streaming is going to be more rigid because of school this semester, like, because it's really unfeasible for me to stream any days other than Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it'll basically be 4 days on, 3 days off. So, but, I mean, I think that works okay. I think we can make that work, you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be too bad. Normally, for me, streaming 3 days in a row can be a little bit difficult, but I think it's fine. I think we'll be fine. So, alright, so just knock them over a little bit, go to Aggression, spam Blitz, and then just send them all to the moon, if any of them are left. Let Hope do some AoE. Now, if Hope had, like, Thundaga or Waterga at this point, he'd be sending them up in the air with those. And sometimes that can actually make your target times like less easy to do, because you'll let's see how much easier that was than the last time. No Vertilets, that's probably why. But yeah, if he's sending them up in the air, then sometimes your blitzes just won't hit, and that'll actually make them live longer. Not that they can do anything while living longer, but, you know, probably easier just to not have a Ga spell at this point. It's just less, like, micromanaging of the battle to deal with. I think I made the school is more important, though, thing sound a little bit more sarcastic than it actually was. It is more important. Like I said, I guess, but no, it is. It's genuinely more important. Like it's the difference of having a career that's good enough to get me out of my low socioeconomic status or staying in said socioeconomic status for the rest of my life. And I don't feel like living in this town forever, so I think I know what I'd rather do. I don't think we're going to get a good rank. I shouldn't have switched to aggression here. Wasn't really much of a point to it. Never mind. We got it in before Hope lost his Tetris stuff, so... Might DM me afterwards. What do you think of web development as a career? I mean, I don't really know enough about it to really say one way or the other whether it's something that I would invest in or not. I mean, it's obviously going to be one of those fields that just keeps growing because, you know, it's something that companies need. But yeah, I don't really know enough about it, to be honest, to say one way or the other. If it's something that you think you'd be interested in doing for a long time, then hell, I say go for it. Why not?
Change of plan.
Yeah, I have enough CP now to finish this off, but honestly, I might just leave it because, like, we're not really struggling to fight anything, so, you know, I might just say, yeah, it's fine, we'll just, you know. Oh, this is gonna hurt. I'm saying struggling to fight anything, and I'm about to get Aurora'd and Aeroga at the same time. Do I renew? No, I'm just gonna go Combat Clinic. The target time for this is pretty generous anyway, because it's Rongda's, so... no, get out of here with that summon shit. Oh, I missed a water. Which one do you... Blizzard and water. Oh, you're gonna absorb those arrows, so let me just not do that. There we go. We probably could just kill those guys one at a time by just using Relentless Assault like we do with the Gorgonopsids, honestly. But oh well. Back up to almost 5 TP. Very good. Don't know about a long time. Have the attention span of a slightly aged goldfish. You get distracted easily. Well, that just means that you just kind of bounce between careers. That's all, you know. It's just one of those things where you want to make sure when you're bouncing between careers, you're kind of just offshooting from stuff that you did previously, where it's not like you're just taking on a completely new thing, because then you'd have to, you know, get additional training or go back to school, and that's a lot of investment for something you might only do for a couple of years, you know. Also get bored easily, but web development sounds like it's up your alley. You know, I say go for it then. I mean, you know, it's one of those things you won't really know until you give it a shot, so I say give it a shot, see if it works out. If it does, then cool. You got a career to go to. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. You can always switch to something else. I'm not going to fight these Dire Flans. I just, because they stagger you every time they use their big floppy arms to smack you around, I just find the battle to be inconvenient, so I'm just going to go around them. We've got enough CP. But this is a Paling Seath Stone. It's the first of its kind, and these Seath Stone emanations block roads and pathways all across Grand Pulse. Complete the mission of the Seath Stone near them and they will dissipate. But be warned that the marks for these missions are formidable foes, and you need not slay them all. Should you decide to undertake one of these missions, be prepared for a grievous challenge. When they say you need not slay them all, it's because these Paling Stones only exist in order to cover up optional areas. So if you're planning on just doing the game without seeing any of the optional stuff, you don't have to do this one. But I'm doing it because, excuse me, I've committed to the first 34 missions at this point, and this gets me good CP anyway, so I may as well, you know. That being said, they're not going to make it easy for me, because the first of the Paling Stones is another Undying mission, Geyseric the Profane. So we've read the first thing about their loathing. Geyseric the Profane is of their number, and my focus is his doom. He is said to lead a horde of Seath on the steppes' western benchland. To think you would become such a Seath, Geyseric. You who could not harm a fly. Whatever part of you lingers in that grotesque prison of crystal and flesh must suffer. I will set you free, my friend. Again, I'm not really sure you did such a great job of that. But yeah, so if you beat Geyseric, this obstacle, this magical sigil, will dissipate, and that will allow you to go to... Is it going to tell me what this place is? No, it isn't. It's the font of Namva, or Namva, whatever you pronounce it. Namva. That's the font that it is. And it has a good cutscene in it as well that I'm definitely going to want to go see. So we'll go see it in a little bit. Not just yet. We got to complete a couple of missions in order to actually... There's actually a mission that has you go in there as a part of it. So we'll go there once the mission directs us to go there. For now, we got to go find this XIII guy. And he's on the western benchland area. Oh, Hope got messed up again. He ended up going after a different Gorgonopsid, which, I mean, I guess that's fine, because it'll stagger by the time I get done with this one. So, oh, he's back to fighting this one now. Okay. There we go. Yeah, the further we level up here, the more tight the window's going to be for these Gorgonopsids with getting a 5-star ranking, so I figure, let's just leave ourselves where we are. We're doing well enough to fight them at the moment. Fang can send them to the moon in one combo as long as Hope doesn't get messed up or distracted and fight something other than what I'm fighting, so... Sometimes the AI does get a little distracted and it fights something you don't, even if it's not supposed to. Because if it has an Aurora Scarf on and you haven't targeted an enemy yet, sometimes it'll just be like, okay, who do I fight? Like, see how Fang is fighting the opposite Gorgonopsid right now? It's because of the fact that... Or actually, no, Hope's fighting the opposite Gorgonopsid again. It's because sometimes the AI just switches targets to the wrong one and then doesn't course correct until it sees what you're fighting. So then the next round it will course correct and fight what you're fighting. Oh, hang on. What did I say that activated my Google Assistant? It was tracking everything I was saying for like a minute there on my phone. That's weird. Oh, I love technology. It's so grand. Let's go up here and fight this Amphispina now so we can get this treasure chest while we're on our way. Because XIII is down in the valley there. And we've gotten most of the step filled out now. It's really just Turtle Valley and then that corner over there and the Font of Namba as well that we haven't seen. I think there's a chest up there that I might go try to grab while we go that way, but at the moment, I'm not really too worried about it, I guess. But yeah, there's the chest. And is that the Amphispina? Is he having trouble getting to the chest? Are you going to come after me? Oh, I see. It's because I'm up higher than the chest itself. Well, yoink, this is mine now. Yeah, there's nothing good in it. 5 severed wings, so. But I'll fight him because you're probably meant to before you get that anyway. I figured you had to in order to do that, but apparently not, so. Electricity, so Thunder Arrow. Alright. And then we'll go Delta Attack. I'll use my physical attacks, because those do a hell of a lot more damage than the magical attacks that Hope is using instead, so. I mean, I'm whiffing, but still. Wonder if there's anything good that I can get on him with, probably not, right? Like, no good status effects to get on him, so. D-Brave on Fang is not so good, but I guess at least I've still got Bravery to work with. Oh, there he goes. Bye, Hope. I'll go like this for a second so I can do this. He might feeding stoop me in a second though if I'm not careful, so I shouldn't be so flippant about it, you know. Well, at least I didn't get knocked off balance just there. I'm gonna have to go to Delta Attack and revive Hope, I think, though. That's unfortunate. I don't think Renew is something I want to do, though, because I kind of need the TP, so I'll just do this. Let's go Combat Clinic, and then we'll fix this. I'll just get myself a little bit. I'll get D-Brave off as well while I'm at it. Well, there goes Feeding Stoop. Guess it's better that it's on Fang than it is on anybody else. I'll just use Ruin to stagger him. Once we stagger him a second time, it won't be a big deal to fix his wagon from there. Alright, Mystic Tower. I don't know, this particular deck configuration just really, really works for me. Like, it's pretty much got something for every situation this section of the game throws at you. I don't know. I enjoy it quite a bit. I mean, granted, it's not like, you know, always the best thing to have, especially in situations like this where it's like, okay, you don't have D-Protect or D-Shell, so the guys like this who are immune to Pain, Fog, Curse, Slow give you a little trouble till Fang gets, you know, D-Protect and D-Shell later, but it works. It's not pretty, but it works. Don't know, think you'll go into web development to get cash for things you want, and maybe in a few years you'll be able to afford a house instead of an apartment. Oh yeah, the housing market sucks right now. I'm not even bothering looking. I'm just waiting. Once I get more steady income from this job, then I'm gonna start looking for an apartment because, like, I'm not really concerned about the house until a little while later. Like, it's just not feasible at the moment to even think about getting a house, at least from what I understand about the market. It kind of depends on who you talk to, because some people who've owned houses previously are like, no, it was this bad in the 70s and stuff as well, and you're getting off easy because the interest rate's even lower now than it was then. And then you've got other people who bought their house in like 1997 at a 2% interest rate, and they're like, no, stay the hell away from the housing market. You will never get in. So it just kind of depends on who you talk to. My geography professor got a house in like 2001 at a 3% interest rate, and he's almost done paying it off now. And he said, I'm never moving, ever again. I'm going to stay here till my dying day. I'm like, no, you should do that because your interest rate's low enough, you've paid the vast majority of the house, and you've got a daughter to pass that shit down to, so like somebody's going to take it even if you don't end up using it the whole way through. So... But, yeah, that's some real shit, I guess. We're talking about real shit now, not video game shit. Alright, I think we're going to take the easy way from here to get to the, whatchamacallit, to get to Geyserik. We'll just go down and around past the crevice there. Now, like it said, though, Geyserik has actually got some Seath flanking him in the valley down here, so... I think it's just a bunch of Taxums, which we've already fought in the Padrian Archaeopolis, but I'm probably just going to avoid them. I just don't feel like fighting them. I'd rather just fight Geyserik himself. So. And incidentally, since I'd rather fight Geyserik himself, I should probably get the team ready to go, because we're going to bring Saz, Snow, and Vanille in here for this one. Because I want to feed Brunhilde a kill. There we go. So let's get the team together. See what we can do. I'm probably going to use a Fortisol and an Aegisol on him just because he is kind of tough, but it's one of those missions where it just feels like the kind of situation where you should use a Fortisol and an Aegisol. So I'm probably just going to do that. And we'll go from there. This can be Rav. We're going to want a Saboteur, though, so, like, we're probably going to want to start... Well, we don't need, whatchamacallit, we don't need Synergist if we're going to have Fortisol and Aegisol, because the fight won't take that long. Probably Delta Attack... Well, maybe I don't even need Delta Attack if I'm going to use Fortisol and Aegisol. I do want to have a Saboteur, though, so maybe we start in Rav Sab to get D-Protect and D-Shell up. And then... I'll leave a Delta Attack here, just in case, but I don't think we need it, so I'm going to start in Smart Bomb and just see how it goes. You know what? Yeah, no, you know what? I think I'm going to actually start in Smart Bomb and, No, I'm going to start in this, but we're going to switch this to Saboteur. There we go. Dirty fighting. So we'll do that, and then we will switch over. If she doesn't get the debuffs off, I guess I'll switch to Smart Bomb to get it to work a little better, but we'll switch to Mystic Tower till we stagger him, and then we'll just go Relentless Assault and Aggression. Probably won't kill him in one stagger. I think it takes 2 at this level of engagement, but that's fine. I feel like the world's just so much more dystopian than people think just because of the whole Fal'Cie thing. Like, you'll get an objective, don't know exactly what it is. You have a time limit that isn't told to you. You just get a strength and power boost so that you can do whatever the objective is. Why do people worship the Fal'Cie? That is a good question. We haven't read the data log on the Fal'Cie yet. My plan of action is to read the data log during this chapter, but I'm going to wait to read it until we get to the end boss of the chapter, so that way we get all the answers about everything that's going on in the plot first, and then once we have all the answers, then we can read the data log to fill in any questions and gaps we have, and see if the game fills in those questions and gaps. It might not. I know for a fact one particular question that I've already written down in my notes for later, the game doesn't answer, so that's great. Okay, we filled that part out already. There's Geyserik up there. That Seath Stone is inactive for a long time. Honestly, I feel like that one should be Mission 13 because it's so close to Geyserik himself, but I don't know. What do I know, right? Saz, let's just avoid these taxums. I don't feel like taxing myself on their bodies. Lots of treasure over here, though, in this long-abandoned village that reminds me a whole lot of that one abandoned spot that I found in Breath of the Wild when I played it for 2 hours and then said, no, I gotta play the rest of this blind. It's too good to pass up. Here's an ice charm, though. If I remember correctly, there's one over here by this place, too. Yeah, here we go. I could hear it. I couldn't see it. There's a fire charm. So the fire charm and the ice charm together sell for a cool 15,000 gil, and you don't particularly need them because if you need fire resistance or ice resistance, just cast bar fire or bar frost, and that's it. So I would say just sell those off. I mean, unless you're upgrading to the top level of ice thing or fire thing. Like if you don't have... If you sold the frost rings already, because those are the tier 2 ice rings, and you want to get that all the way up to level 3, then just max out the ice charm, dismantle it, get that ring to level 3, and then go from there. But if you're doing what I'm doing, where you don't care about stuff you're never going to equip, then sell that stuff off. Excuse me. If it's not necessary, then don't worry about it. So, all right. So, Geyserik, here we go. Fortisol, Aegisol, and off we go. Come on out, you big lug. I know you're here somewhere. There he is. About time you show... Oh my god. Now that's a PS2 mouth right there. The way they animated mouths in the PS2 and PS3 days is just so uncanny valley, and it works so well for monsters like this because it just makes them look more threatening because they're basically breaking their jaw every time they open their mouths. I don't know. I just always found it very interesting myself, so... Alright, so Vanille can get D-Protect and D-Shell on him, and I think Imperil also works. We'll get flattened a little bit, but that's why we've got the Sentinel for now, so... I'm going to see if Vanille can get anything on him while I go Smart Bomb. Let's see. Do that. He's pretty easy to stagger, though, so it shouldn't take too much to get him there. And then just kind of go nuts at him. I would say Saz is the better commando here, because Snow's casting speed is just too high for you to really bother with having him do anything else. If she could get Imperil on him, I'd probably cast like in Fire or something, so that way we could get some more damage on him, but since we can't, then that's fine. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to switch to Aggression to get some quick damage here. Savage Stomp, huh? Well, we can handle that. That's not Earth damage, I don't think, so... Oh, and you can even launch him, so that's nice. Bring him back down to Earth in a second. I guess Snow's not going to launch him again. That's fine. Murderous Might, huh? Okay, so when he uses Murderous Might, you're going to want to go after the fist. So try to hit the fist before he attacks. And then just go to Relentless Assault. Or this will happen, and you will almost die. But the fist doesn't take much damage, and then it goes down, so... We should be able to handle this, I think. I'm probably going to go like this and just get rid of the fist real quick while Vanille heals me. So, because he'll spam Dominating Fist. It's not like it's just done, you know what I mean, once he does it once. You will get hit multiple times with it, so. Is that enough for me to get rid of it? I think it might have one hit left on it, yeah. Okay, we got a Scourge off. That's good. So now it should be gone. Now we can fight Geyserik himself again. Get him staggered as best we can. If my AI partners go down here, I'm okay with it, because I'm going to summon once I get him staggered after this round. What do I want to do here? I think I want to go to Smart Bomb so that I can use Ravager, so I can build the gauge. But first...
I summon.
I love the way he says that. The voice actor, I think it's Reno Wilson is the voice actor. Never heard of him before this, but he really got that line right. He got the entire tone of it down exactly how you're supposed to. So, alright, now let's just build the gauge. Build up the Gestalt so that way we can get a maximum damage out of the Gestalt mode. Okay, we should be good here. Just do the whole attack and then we'll go.
Put me behind the wheel.
Get in the car, Saz! It's not an airship, but we'll make it work.
That's right. Let's do it. Idolins, start your engine.
Alright, what's the move to use here? Caltrop Bomb, that's it, I think. Sorry, I didn't know what to do here. I don't use these Eidolons very often, so sometimes I just don't know. Okay. Is that going to blow him up? Yes, it is. Okay, well, no Muspel Flame, but we got him, so that's the important part. I'll show Muspel Flame eventually. I got a little overzealous with the with the Caltrops, my bad. But we got the rank of Bane Slayer for beating him, and we got a Royal Armlet, which sells for a cool 20,000 gil. So there we go. Yeah, you guys are almost out of time on your tattoos. Yeah, I think they need to work on that. He was a biggin, but he doesn't even flop when he dies. He just sort of T-poses the ground. Oh, so is that what it's supposed to look like when they actually die? They're supposed to be practically sent to the far plane? Okay, well, Batuitus didn't do that, but I guess Batuitus is a sore loser, so I guess we should expect that from him. You are a sore loser, Kronos. Anyway, let's go back to the normal team now that we've defeated that one. I'll have to find a good spot to use Muspel Flame then, because I was kind of just figuring, okay, well, we can use it there and then that's it. We never need to use it or worry about using it again, because I don't remember if there's anything weak to fire coming up. I mean, I guess I could just fight him again and do it, but it's fine. Whatever. I mean, it makes sense for Kronos. He can rewind time, yeah, so that would obviously make you a sore loser, because, like, you could just get out of jail free with it, you know? Oh, hang on, General's belts. Go over here. We're almost to the point where we don't have to keep switching these around anymore, by the way. We need to do 2 more missions total in order to get ourselves to the point where these can be swapped freely, so. And one of them is back where Geyserik was anyway. That Seath Stone, which was inactive a minute ago, but is now opened up now that we beat Geyserik. I believe the Teleport Stone at the north end of the step is open again now, or at the north end of the step again is open now too. Yeah, as you can see it is. That's mission 17. So that's the last mission we'll do on the step before we move on. We're not going to get there today. And honestly, we're going to spend a lot of time treasure hunting next time, so we'll probably get to it next time, but it'll be like the last thing we do. So, while we're here, though, I'm going to fight a whole bunch of these Rangas and Leaks, because they give a ton of CP for a comparatively easy battle, so. And they keep conjuring new ones, that's cool, because then I can just keep getting more CP, I guess. I mean, I guess that does make the battle last longer, but, you know. As long as you kill them before the enemy pops into the battlefield, you don't have to worry about whatever they summon. And I mean, that's 2,500 CP for a very simple battle, so, like, why wouldn't I do it, you know? It's about picking your battles out here on the steppe. Knowing which enemies you can very easily dispatch in order to get a whole bunch of CP is just one of the easiest ways to amass a whole big chunk of it, if I'm honest. Like, these 4 Layaks will just die very easily because we can just zap the shit out of all of them, so. Alright, quickly before we lose that gauge. There we go. Nice. Now those ones I don't think give a ton of CP though, because they're just Layaks. But I mean, I guess, that's 4 Layaks that took 12 seconds. We get 1760 CP for a 12-second fight. Like, that's pretty good. I mean, it's not 6600 for a 40-second fight, but again, if you're just looking for CP, not a bad option. Especially if you're a little weaker as it is, you know. Alright, who's not staggered here? You're not staggered. Zap.
Change of plan. Stay down.
You just gonna send them all to the moon there, Fang, or what? I mean, I wouldn't blame you. Alright, but now we're out of the Western Benchland. We grabbed a bunch of treasure. We got Geyseric. And we should be good to move along here. And again, we've got most of the steppe filled out at this point, so that's kind of nice. We won't go into Turtle Valley just yet because we'll have an excuse to actually go near there later when we can actually use those, well, these yellow launch pads.
What is this?
Yeah, that's a fair question, Lightning. We don't have a solid answer to that yet, but very soon we will find a very solid, very feathery answer to that problem. I mean, I don't know how to mask it without just basically spoiling it, but that's the best I can do. More goblins, more holy hand grenade. I'll probably use Thundara first, though. Actually, I think they have thunder electricity, but that's okay. I guess they're all staggered, so let me do Watera. Matter of fact, let me go Delta attack to get them all into a nice, neat group so I can spam Ruin Gun. There we go. Oh, the power! I can feel the power! This is just silly. Why is this allowed? Like, who decided this was a good idea? It just keeps going. There's only one of them left now. That's how much it keeps going. That's Thunder's gonna get halved, but whatever. I don't care at this point. Too much holy hand grenade. Looking up apartments, you're holding out hope. I mean, you might get lucky with something. You never know. Some people might like... It's just a lot of like the places that gouge the prices like that are the places where they're like... It's like a chain restaurant, but it's not a chain restaurant. It's like somebody that's like an outside investor that just buys a bunch of buildings and then they gouge the price because they're a company and they can. So, and that's why some of the prices get so exorbitant, because then everybody else has to gouge the prices in order to... They're like, oh, well, everybody else is doing it, so I can do it to make some quick money. And it's like, no, that doesn't... No. Stop it. You're going to destroy the market. Start undercutting each other. That's how this is supposed to work. Oh, boy. Alright, if you're all going to hit Fang, that's fine, because she has enough HP to tank basically every one of your hits, so that's all good. Who was hitting the other one? Because he's sort of like... I was going to say, Fang, can you stabilize that before he loses it? But I guess it doesn't take much to get it back, so... Hell, this is only the 4th round. Yeah, they haven't played enough MMOs. There you go. I think you found a really good place, but it has no floor plans available. Yeah, and see, I thought I found a pretty good spot, too. You can see the floor plans on their website and stuff, but they don't have enough one-bedroom apartments. They pretty much, a lot of the places, at least in my area, are almost exclusively two-bedroom apartments and up. And that's a problem because it's like, I mean, I understand why they're doing it because then they can, you know, they can cram more people in there and more people means they get more money. But like, where am I supposed to go by myself? And like, if I can't rent a place, how am I supposed to get good renter's history? God, I got to worry about renter's history too because I got to get like certain places. They're like, well, we need 2 references from previous rents that you've done where you've been in good standing. And it's like, I've literally never rented a place before. What do you mean? Where am I going to find good references? I can give you references from my jobs. They'll vouch for me. I can give you references from my school. They'll vouch for me. I don't have a renter's voucher. What are you talking about? So that's the problem that I face with high-end places at the moment. Even if I wanted to go to them, they're like, hey, so we need reference points. And it's like, where do you want me to get those from exactly? Like, I just want to work in this town. I don't care about... like, I mean, I don't want to live in, like, you know, a really low-end place, but it might end up being something like that just because where am I going to get the references to live in a higher-end place, you know? Might not have a choice. Might end up getting sent to the moon like Fang does to all these dogs. Yeah, they do. They want you to get a roommate. That's pretty much exactly it, honestly. They're just like, nope, get a roommate. That's it. It's easier for us, and it's easier for us to make sure that the money's guaranteed if you have a roommate. It's like, I get it, but, you know. All right, Mission 13. Eternity Unpromised. Goblin Chieftain. You know what that means. Holy hand grenade time. It is a cruel and contemptible contest the Fal'Cie have devised, but one from which I may not yet absent myself. We assembled the sea must overcome innumerable obstacles as we compete to slay the Goblin Chieftain. You're competing to slay a Goblin Chieftain? What does the world come to? On the northern high plain, the prize, freedom from bondage as a Lassie. I will win, be made human again, and return to propose to my lover, from whose arms the tyrant Fal'Cie stole me. And he never returned. The end. What a shitty story. It's like, what was that one book? There was I forget what the name of the YouTuber was, but there was a YouTuber that I used to watch, and he covered this book, and it was like, they sent the book to you, and like, half the pages were burned. It sounds really weird, but like, they put burn marks on half the pages, and like, it was in really poor quality, like, binding and a bunch of other like really weird things that you would never do to a book, but it was done on purpose because the book was meant to be like a storybook in the post-apocalypse. So they stuck all that stuff on it in order to make it more post-apocalypse-y. It was actually really interesting, and I was like, I don't think I want to get this book because all the stories are really garbage. They all end really shittily because there's no character development, and it's just like, well, everyone dies, the end. But it's the post-apocalypse, you know? So, like, yeah, of course everyone dies. I mean, do you expect them to have happy endings when the world's gone to shit? No, probably not. Man, I don't know why we didn't stagger to that Aeroga. Yeah, it's like, it's something like that, yeah. Tempted to send you the link to the place that you found, or am I interested? At the moment, probably not, because I'm kind of stuck in the area that I'm in now for a while, because I have to get my degree with the school that I'm at. It's not that I can't get it somewhere else, it's that I've kind of committed myself to the long haul with this specific school, so I don't really want to like move house until I have a more guaranteed job, you know what I mean? I mean, if you want, you can still send it to me. It would be good for me to see as a reference point for what I'll be looking for later when I get out of here, but I don't think I'd be interested in biting right now, specifically, you know, so. But I appreciate the offer, nonetheless. Like, it's just one of those things that I just gotta, I can't, like, jump too quickly, you know what I mean? If I jump too quickly, off to the moon again with me. No, if I jump too quickly, it'll be, I might end up in a situation where it's like, okay, well, I left too quickly, now I'm in an unfamiliar place, trying to finish college and do all that. I don't have as recurring of income as I could. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. Oh, man, are you interested in looking at the place that you found? Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, sorry, I misinterpreted that entirely. Yeah, send me the link if you want, and I can give you my opinion on the spot to see if it's something that I would invest my time in. I don't know if our priorities are the same in terms of, you know, what we get out of places, but hey, it never hurts to have a second opinion, right? All right, we're going back to the basically where the Emling Bellows was, right? Yeah, like right next to it. So first of all, we're gonna get the big CP over there again when we go there. But second of all, we're also going to take our relatively enemy-free route here. How many steps does this take to get from there to here? We're on like, that's 30 with no enemies, 40. This is really great commentary, 50. I'm just interested in seeing 60, how many it actually is. 70. Because you need to take 10,000 in order to 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. You need to take 10,000. So if you're going to do it 100 right there, you might as well do it in something that's relatively peaceful. I think that's 110. I lost count because I was trying to finish my train of thought. 120. 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm deviating from the path, though, to get this Millerite. I think it's a Millerite, 70. But I might as well grab it while I'm on my way. So I think it was 180 to get here. And we're not even like, wow, that was a preemptive strike? What were you guys doing? But, yeah, it's probably about 220 steps then, just judging by how many we've taken so far, between those other Gorgonopsids down by where Geyseric's little tunnel is, and the section where the Behemoth King is up here. So if it's about 220, 230 steps to get there, you can just walk back and forth. Let's see, what's 10,000 divided by 200? It's like 50, right? Did I do that right? 250, so that would be 1, 2, 3 zeros added. Yeah, I did that right. Excuse me, I think I did that right anyway. Sorry, I'm more interested in the enemies in front of me, but I'm pretty sure. And you take a few more steps than that even, so it's 220. 10,000 divided by 220, and then whatever that ends up being. I mean, I could just get a calculator out, but that's kind of embarrassing, right? Like, if I could do basic math. Can I do it in my head? I don't know. Did we get rid of the Gorgonopsid? Okay, we did. So I didn't really need this that badly. So I guess we'll switch to this real quick. While I'm just meandering along with this, maybe now I can do the math. So 220, 440, 660, 880, 1100. So that's 5, and you get 1100 steps. That means 9, so 45 would be 9,900 steps. So if you do that 46 times, you've got all 10,000 of the steps that you need. And you don't even need to do it 46 times because you're gonna accumulate about 3,000 steps going from here to the pedometer anyway, because I think it's about 3,000 anyway, just roughly, based on the distance you have to go when you go into that destination mark. There's 1, 2, 3, like 4 areas between here and the pedometer, so you'll probably accumulate about 3,000 steps. So if you just get up to this, like about 6,600 and then go again, so that'd be like 6,820. So if you do that, like, let's see, 6,600 would be 30 times, I think, if I did that correctly, because 1,100 is 5, so 5 times 6 is 30, yeah, so you do it about 30 times if you just want to grind out the steps and you couldn't be asked with doing all the running around that I'm doing, which, I mean, is fair, you know, sometimes you don't have the time or the patience to do that, and that's okay, you don't have to. I was gonna say, should I heal? No, I don't think I should, because we're gonna kill him right now.
Hardly worth the effort.
Look, I'm looking for a place around what you're paying now or lower, because you're basically at the limit you can afford. Yeah, and that's, you know, obviously that's a good time to start, you know, looking, because if it's at the point where you can barely afford it anymore, all it's got to happen is one spike, and then it's like, okay, what am I going to do now? You know, how's my living space going to be guaranteed from here on if I can't, you know, if they went above what I can afford to pay, you know? So I would say start looking earlier rather than later for that particular situation. Alright, I'll fight you, and then I'll go fight the 6,600 people down there, and then we get to fight the goblins. Alright, switch it up. I don't know if walking towards him is such a good idea, but I guess we do backflip, so... No, I'm gonna get whacked in the face again, but that's okay. We'll just ruin. There we go. Mystic Tower, back it up. Don't want to inflict too much damage on him before, you know, we get him staggered, because again, if you inflict too much damage, he might stand up before you get him staggered, and then you're retrying this whole 3-minute fight, so... Yeah, don't set yourself up for failure, you know. I'm gonna do one more round of that, and then I'll throw a few marbles. And then we'll continue the onslaught.
Change of plan.
As I say, maybe I shouldn't have done that right when he was hurling, because Fang is about to be sent skyward, but she'll be going to the moon instead of the enemies this time. Fang, you've drawn the moon lottery. Alright, anyway. We should have him staggered momentarily, and he'll be just about at that 50% mark. Do I switch? No, I think we're just going to let Hope do this while she's hurling and countering. Alright, let's go to this. Launch him, Fang, so we can move on with our lives. And off I go. I also tried this next mission, by the way, because I was trying to feed Bahamut a kill, but I couldn't really get a 5-star in this one with a Bahamut kill either. It's just that you get to a certain point where you just get so strong that you can do battles just better than your Eidolons can do them, and it's kind of sad, honestly, because I feel like they could be more useful, but sometimes they don't get more useful just because you get more useful, and it sort of overshadows their use, you know. The Goblin Chieftain's back there, by the way. I'm just going to go fight this real quick before we fight them. Might as well grab a little extra CP, even though we're already banking over 140,000 for some of us, but, you know. You preemptively do all sorts of things. Move in July, probably. Been looking up places since November. And that's probably better, honestly, because it's better to look before you need it than it is to look when you need it, you know what I mean? Because at that point, it's already too late. Because, you know, then you're in a situation where it's like, I don't know how much longer I can actually live here. And that's a problem, you know, obviously. Because then it's like, okay, if I can't live here, what am I going to do? Launch him now, lightning. Launch him now, lightning. Okay. That was almost bad. Hope kind of knocked him around a little bit there. And if he hits the ground and then Hope stuns him with a water attack like that, or if he hits the ground and then Hope hits him as he hits the ground rather than juggling him, it will cause him to not play the falling down and getting back up animation. It'll just knock him straight to his feet, and once he comes to his senses, he will just stand right up, and then you will be retrying that fight. Well, I mean, you could still do it. It's still doable. It's just, I would be retrying that fight at that point, because I'd be like, no, now the CP's not as free as it was. So, do I want to Decepticol this one? No, I don't think I do, because this one's easier. There's another one with Goblin Chieftains where it's like 5 goblins and Goblin Chieftain, and I think I'd rather, if I'm going to use a Decepticol, I'd rather save it for that, I think, instead of the other way. Don't want to just Delta attack this and spam Ruinga? Kind of, because you want to, it's like with the Munchkins, you want to kill the regular goblins before you kill the Chieftain anyway, because if you don't kill, like if you kill the Munchkin Maestro or the Goblin Chieftain before the other goblins, then the goblins will use an attack called Promotion, if I remember correctly, and they basically class change like this is Fire Emblem, and they turn into a chieftain. It's a big problem. So I would recommend not having that big problem and just kill them before that can happen. So I think we'll start Kamasen Rav and we'll see what we can do. I don't think I'm going to get a preemptive strike. I think I'm just going to go. See what happens. Alright. Spam Ruinga! That's the thing, too. Even with just the regular Axis Blade, this is as fast as I can enter in the commands, and we got like 4 of those off before we didn't have the ability to use them anymore, so... Now, the Chieftain will use Goblin Enhancement like the Munchkin Maestro in order to give his guys bravery and faith, but Fang can handle it, so... Then we just keep doing this until the numbers are down. Hope will hopefully keep just spamming spells to build their gauge while we just keep spamming spells to blow them up. And eventually we'll just switch to regular Ruin, I think. We might even switch to regular Ruin now, just because I don't want to accidentally, like, kill the Chieftain from all this hand grenade spam. I mean, it's fun to watch, obviously. Dynamic camera angles and giant explosions, what's not to love, but... Hey, I don't want to accidentally do something stupid, you know. Oh, the other one's already even staggered. That's funny. Alright, let's get rid of this one first, and then we can get rid of the other one that's already staggered, and then we can go from there. Is the Chieftain dead? No, okay. I couldn't see him for a second there, so I was like, wait a minute. Oh, okay, this one's not quite dead yet. Let's just stay in Metagard for a sec, and then we'll go Smart Bomb to build the Chieftain's gauge. He got hit by a couple of things, though, apparently. Am I going to strike from here? Okay, well, I can just do that and not have that happen. There we go. Alright. Go ahead, Fang. Launch him up in the air. I'm really far away from this battle. How the hell did I get all the way over here? Probably shouldn't be using Thunder, though. Alright. Ruinga, not Ruinga, regular Ruin now should be sufficient to finish him off. And here we go. I think that went pretty well. Let's hope that was a 5-star. It was. Okay, good. Yeah, the hand grenade spam definitely makes that a lot easier to deal with. If you're doing Blitz there, you're probably not going to 5-star it because they just half all the damage that Blitz does, so it just... it doesn't work quite as well. Now, we could take Mission 17 while we're here, but instead of doing that, I'm going to go fight the 6600 CP battle again. Because they've respawned, as you can see here. I know, I'm abusing it. I'm trying to abuse it now before it becomes unavailable again. But I don't know, I've probably amassed pretty much all of the CP I need in order to get everybody's secondary roles pretty much all done at this point. Like, if we go do Mission 14, I think we'll pretty much be ready to buy all the secondary roles for everybody, so... we'll see. That's it, keep him up there, Hope. He's coming a little closer to the ground, but that means the Magistatherian can actually hit him, so... that's probably okay. There we go. Just launch him up, even if I don't kill him with this. There we go. Off he goes. Relentless Assault has already taken care of the Magistatherian. Have some Fyra's friend. I guess Fyra does more damage because it's a level 2 spell, so... I'm just not used to using the level 2 spells basically ever. I should probably use them more often because they probably do a lot more damage than I give them credit for. But you have so much CP! I know. We need to keep getting the CP. It needs to keep going up. My stocks, Marie! Watching how prices work, because you refuse to renew here, but you need to see how prices work. The justified spiking rent last renewal. Oh, they justified spiking rent last renewal. By saying the market was still really bad. Yeah, no. No, that's not an excuse. Like, if the market's really bad in your pocketbook, don't buy property! It's already enough of a financial risk before you monetize it. Sorry. That's just a big pet peeve for me. Like, don't get into an investment and then say, oh, the market's really bad, so I have to redo how I invest. No! Fuck you! Like, don't invest in it if you're worried about that. The point of investing is to set and forget. Do you not know how an IRA works? Hello? You're not supposed to play the market. That's not how this shit works. Anyway, I learned a lot about financials when I worked at the credit union a while ago, so that's why it's a big pet peeve for me. So, I know we've already fought this guy a billion times at this point as well, but it's okay. We'll fight him again because 4,000 CP is tempting enough. I guess I'll just do this. We're actually kind of nicely spread out here, though, especially if I can continue to stay over here. So, but the final mission in order to unlock the more potent method of travel here and the treasure hunting mechanic at the same time is mission 14, which is right down by Chocobo Lake, which is just south of us. So once we beat this guy, there will be basically no fights between us and Chocobo Lake. And then there's only a few Gorgonopsid fights between us and the actual mark. So I'll probably finish that one tonight just because we've got like 15 minutes left before I want to call it a day anyway. And it'll give me a chance to get another Alexander kill, so that's good. I think I can get an Alexander kill from it anyway. I gotta see. We'll give it a shot. Alexander's a little bit different from like Bahamut and all that stuff because he has Lofty Challenge, so he can kind of keep the enemies just like stuck on him, and that brings them all into a nice neat group so that Hope can just spam spells at them and hope for the best. Just, you know, get your Fyras and your Thundaras going. So, oh, hang on. I'm gonna have to switch. There we go. Somebody bring him into the air, please! Okay, he was gonna hurl anyway, so it doesn't matter. I was seeing warning signs there for a second. But, hang on. I'm not gonna go anywhere now. Fang's got this. Air raid sirens going off in my head when Fang was very slowly coming out of that Metagard. I looked at his HP gauge and I was like, fuck! Oh boy. But it's fine. We got it. Let's go see the sheep one more time before we head to the Font of Namva. There they are. They're looking at Cocoon, right? Yep. I could watch these guys all day. I really could. I really could just watch them sing at the moon all day. Oh, man. Alright, but this sea stone that we saw before that was dormant is now no longer dormant. So let's go see what it's got in store for us. It has Sahagins. Man, they're referencing all the early game Final Fantasy I enemies now, but they're a lot stronger than they were there. But this is Mission 14, Defender of the Flock. A Sahagin infestation threatens the steppe chocobos who roost at the Font of Namva. Those gentle souls I've known since I was a child. Oh, that's not good. The great and merciful Fal'Cie heard my plea and granted me the power to save them. I may never again be able to feel the warmth of their golden down, but I can think of no happier way to spend eternity than watching over them from the water's edge. You've got some interesting priorities, but okay, fair enough. Anyway, let's head off to see if we can rescue the chocobos. Let's see. Trying to think, though. Because I already know I have a good thumbnail for this part. But if I go do this next cutscene, I'll have another thumbnail that I could probably use better for the next part. So maybe I will end a little early, just so that way I have a good thumbnail. Because, like, I don't think... Like, once we do this one, there's 3 more missions on the steppe. And that's fine. Like, that's not a ton for us to do. And we'll get them done fairly quickly. There is more for us to do once we do this part, because, again, this unlocks the treasure hunting mechanic, as I'll explain when we get there, but I think we'll be able to complete the 3 missions in not very long, because 2 of them you don't have access to at the moment. One of them is Mission 17, which is up there. So I guess I could have done that, honestly, but well, I'm already here. Oh well. So since we're not going to do it, we'll just go to the lake save point. Okay. You got a little distracted there, huh? Oh, it didn't get me a preemptive strike anyway, but you know. So we will just amass a little bit more CP by fighting enemies that we've already fought. And then once we're done, we'll get to the save point and we'll go from there. Fight a few Gorgonopsids on the way. Excuse me. I was going to say, Hope, whenever you're ready to join in on a casting party. This is not a casting call, Gorgonopsid. This is a curtain call. Actually, it's good that I got all that TP back up, because I'm going to need it. Do I just go to this save point over here? I think I just go to this save point over here, because it's not very, like, out of the way for the rest of it. Thankfully, we are only going to be spending approximately 24 hours away before the next episode of Final Fantasy XIII, the Stream Edition, because I don't know how much longer the Chocobos can last while those Sahagins are fighting them. Although, to be fair, that Seath Stone has been there forever, and the Chocobos are probably still fine. I think. Guess there's only one way to find out, and we will find out, as I said, on the next episode of Final Fantasy XIII, the Stream Edition, which will be happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. And I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. It's almost time. If we're going to see Quinfucius anywhere in this particular game, it's going to be here on Pulse. Because Lord knows he is a majestic draft bird. Well, he wasn't a draft bird in 14, but... I mean, I didn't see him on Cocoon. I would have known. You don't think I'd forget a face like that, do you?